What?
I'd like to see a sequel to Seaman.
Why not, right?
Yeah.
Seamen.
Ooh, you got us there.
Think about that. Holy shit.
You got us there. Oh, damn. Hey everybody, this is TMG Podcast. This is episode 63, and this is the last episode
ever for 2014.
For 2014. We are going to be back next year, stronger than ever, every week, every Tuesday. But for now, it's the Christmas episode. It's the Christmas episode. The year-end review, well, not review, more like overview, really, of what happened or what we like, what we did not like, well, what happened in 2014. This is a podcast about everything video games. This is Carlos, and with me is Will.
Well, hello.
And Miggy.
Ho, ho, ho.
Merry Christmas to all of you, actually.
Happy holidays for all you non-Christmas peoples.
Yep.
Happy New Year, because we're going to miss that.
Yep, we're gonna go jump to the future.
But I hope everyone has a great holiday season full of games.
Yeah, I hope you're like playing a good, awesome game in any whatever platform you're in. Have an eggnog in one hand, a controller in the other, and then splice up the.
I've never drank eggnog. The only eggnog I know is those little shitty half sphere cookies we have in this country.
Oh yeah,
That's not really eggnog. Eggnog is
yeah.
it's like egg liqueur. I don't know how to explain it, but it's
I've
good.
tried eggnog. It's pretty good. But I like to slice mine.
It's just like milk.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. It's like eggy, sweet.
It's a drink with egg in it.
Yeah. Well, no, it's like alcoholic egg.
Yeah.
Egg, milk, and booze.
Yeah.
Alcoholic egg.
And sugar, basically. Yeah.
I like to focus just on the booze and just say that I have eggnog, but that's just how I do. But that's what I actually want to do, like on Christmas Eve. Like I want to splice my eggnog, like I said again. Like I just want to just enjoy that because I haven't even I don't know about you guys, but I haven't literally haven't felt the holiday spirit because I've been like just doing a lot of work, just finishing up the year and just ending it. And right now, actually, as we're recording, it's like the last day, or tomorrow's the last day of me doing work, and then after that. Then I can actually start doing some Christmas shopping. I haven't done a single bit of shopping at all.
Oh shit, dude, good luck.
Good luck. The malls are crazy now.
I know! Good luck to me! But it's just, I had no other time. Tomorrow's the last day.
You really gotta go fast.
I really gotta go fast. And I'm also going to Antipolo on the 24th. So tomorrow, literally, is the last day and I have to do this freaking episode recording. Edit.
Gotta publish it.
Just realized it. Yeah. And then I have to get out. God damn it. But yeah, this is 2014. It's the last episode. 2014 was, actually for me, in terms of games, it was actually okay for me. It was a lot of awesome games, a lot of disappointing games, whatnot. And towards the second half of this episode, we'll be talking about, we have a little bit of an awards show in a way. I put a category list, Will and Miggy, filled up those categories, and we're gonna pretty much show you some of them will be like the best games or the big disappointments of 2014. So we're gonna start talking about that in the second half. But before all of that, before we do the whole year-end review kind of deal, impressions, of course, what we've been playing for the last time for 2014. Who wants to start with that?
I'll start. I've been playing a game that was just recently released. After a successful Kickstarter, Elite Dangerous.
Oh wow! Sorry, again. Okay.
It was the sequel to a game. It's similar in the vein of Wasteland, which was if you remember, Wasteland, the sequel to Kickstarter, and Wasteland was an old PC game from the 80s. Elite, the original Elite was a game from 1984, and this is the first sequel it's gotten since.
And how much was it asking for during the Kickstarter?
I don't recall because I wasn't participating in the Kickstarter. But what happened was my friend started posting some YouTube clips of it, and it looked fantastic. So I looked at it, and there was a good price, so I picked it up. So basically, what Elite is it's a sandbox MMO. Well, not really an MMO. It's kind of a pseudo MMO, but say a sandbox space simulator. So you're flying around in space, and you can do whatever the hell you want. You can go trade stuff. You can get bounties. You can be a pirate. In the same, and it's sort of in the same vein as Wing Commander in the sense that's how you fly. That's how you control your ship. That's how you fly your ship.
Mm-hmm.
But it's open-ended in the same sense as EVE Online is, where there's like a huge galaxy to explore. They boast that they've been able to essentially create the entire Milky Way galaxy, but whether or not that's true or not is hard to say. But there's a shitload of stars to visit, basically, in this game. And it's at point, it's still missing quite a few features. But it feels complete. It's a complete game in that sense, but it's lacking a lot of polish around the edges.
Are you playing it in Steam or?
No. It's not on Steam. It's not
Okay.
available on Steam. You have to buy it off the website.
Oh, so it's not an early access kind of deal.
Yeah, it's not an early access thing. But like, for example, when I say pseudo MMO, here's the thing: like, there's basically 3 ways you can play the game: single player, private group, or open world. So you get to pick if you want to play by yourself. Private group is sort of like just with your friends, or open world is like the real MMO kind of
That's
style.
pretty awesome. It sounds like an EVE Online light.
Yes, it's much less. I like the thing about EVE Online is I always like the idea of EVE Online, but whenever I try to play it, it becomes like a spreadsheet. It's probably the coolest spreadsheet ever, but I don't want to spend my game time like sitting and looking at numbers and analyzing markets and.
Have you tried watching an EVE Online stream?
It can, if you don't know what's going on, like it looks kind of boring. But if
It
you
felt,
kind
like,
of
it, felt like, it felt like a convention or like in a session where they're like explaining me on how Excel works. It was weird.
yeah, but thankfully this game doesn't have as much of that. But at the same time, it also lacks a lot of the depth EVE Online has, like play on stations or play on factions. The economy right now is still a bit wonky, and no one's really sure how trading works yet. Like, so at the moment, trading is not exactly a viable profession until people kind of figure that out. Grouping with your friends is another issue. There's actually no like in most MMOs or any other multiplayer game, like you have kind of like a way to physically group with your friends, right? Like in here, that doesn't really, there isn't that feature yet. Like, it's an upcoming feature though. They're calling it Wings. But at the moment, that's not there yet. So if you want to play with your friends, it's kind of like, you gotta have voice comms. You gotta be, alright, I'm going here. So just follow me here and then, we'll do that.
Oh, so you're not like, they're not like grouped up. You're just like beside each other. That's how it's gonna be. So you have to use,
pretty much, yeah. There's no actual group mechanic in place yet. That's the weird thing. But, so for the moment, how we've been playing it is we have our voice comms open on Skype outside the game, and we just use that to talk to each other. Say, hey, I'm going to this system. We can come and join me here or whatever.
That's very unusual for a game that has like 3 modes and 2 modes that greatly support co-op play.
Yeah, that's why I say like everything else about the game feels good. The flying feels good. The physics feel good, and they got the physics down really well. Like it's cool. Like even when you're flying near, like say a planet or a large gravitational area, you'll slow down due to the gravitational pull. Yeah, because you'll have like your normal speed, and then you have like a super cruise, which sort of lets you fly around the system, and then you have the hyperspace drive, which lets you fly between star systems. So in super cruise, if you're flying next to a large planetary body, you'll actually slow down, not because of anything wrong with your ship, but just because of the physics of gravity, you know.
Yeah, the science is just too strong with this one.
Yeah, and this is a game that's really designed to take advantage of a joystick. Although I'm playing it with an Xbox controller, and it plays okay. But like if you have like a full like HOTAS sort of setup, you can turn flight assist off, and then that's supposed to be really a good thing where momentum is taking place and all kinds of stuff. So, so overall,
it's a flat out simulator. There's no actual like. It's an open world, like you said, it's a sandbox, but there's no actual like. They didn't bother putting any story elements into this game, or
as far as I can tell, yes, there's none really. I mean, there's like little stories that happen. Like sometimes there'll be like a faction war inside the system of who takes control of that system. And players, actually, interestingly enough, the community has been testing how far the simulation really goes at this point. There's an ongoing effort right now to make this one pirate faction the dump faction in a specific system. So we're waiting to see if that will happen or not, just to see how far the simulation goes. So
that's really interesting. They're actually making their own stories already at this point.
And there's a lot of little details that make you feel like you're really flying a ship. Like you have to, like when you're landing in a space station, you really have to, you actually have to go through a docking procedure. You have to, you have to call in the station. You have to request for a docking. They'll assign you a docking pad, and then you have to land on that pad. So little things like that. It's tedious, but yet at the same time it's kind of addicting because you get better at it. It takes a little bit of concentration, even though it's kind of boring. It doesn't make any sense. Like it's sort of a tedious thing to do, but the more you do it, the kind of better you get at it, and then it kind of gets addicting. So,
is it very easy to get into?
Real and how to fly and stuff, but again, once it throws you in the game, it pretty much just dumps you in the newbie system and doesn't tell you what to do. So, if you're the type of gamer who needs like a little bit of guidance of what to do, this might be a little difficult for you to pick up. But
not like EVE Online,
Well, EVE Online at least has sort of a newbie mission to start to take you through the basics. This one actually doesn't have that. They'll like
it just throws you into the water.
They'll throw you in the starting station, and like, oh, here's the bulletin board. There's a bunch of missions there. Why don't you go do something? Or if you don't want to do that, here's the commodity market. Go buy something and sell it somewhere else.
You bought this game. Here's a taskbar. Do shit.
But there's a lot of cool potential here. Like we've seen videos of like how people become smugglers. Like you can actually turn your ship to run on silent, where it generates a lot of heat, but it runs. You create less of a signature, so you can't get scanned by cops.
That's actually pretty cool.
Right? And then you get
like
you
a
have
cell phone. Turn it on silent.
So yeah, you got.
And it generates heat.
Yeah, basically, so your heat builds up, and you have to use a heat sink module to dissipate it now and then, or else you'll burn up. The graphically, it's very pretty. Also, like if you're fighting, if you're fighting and you're losing, like I've seen it where like your windshield will crack open, and you'll have a little oxygen counter appear. Like you have 5 minutes of oxygen left, so get back to a station and repair.
Hey, that's actually pretty deep. Like all the things you've been saying.
It's a lot of little details that really at this point still don't add up completely because it's, like I said, it's still lacking a lot of core features you'd expect. So, but from what everyone said, like the guys who are making this sort of know where they need to go, and from all signs, it looks like they know what they're doing. So, maybe don't pick it up right now, but give it like a couple months, and once they add in, especially the grouping feature, I think that's key. Definitely worth checking out. If you enjoy like the old school like Wing Commander style flying around in space, or like the X series, if you've ever played the X series.
Yeah, I remember the X series.
Yeah.
Wait, how much is it though?
It's right now it's about $50 US, I think, for a digital copy. Yeah, it's the same price as a full retail game, honestly. To be fair.
Yeah.
Oh no, then yeah, I think I totally agree. Then if you were saying that some of the core features are not missing, then you just have to wait it out.
Mm.
That actually sounds, but it sounds actually pretty awesome though, because like I don't know, it seems really deep to the point that you know you have to worry about oxygen when you have a little crack in your window and everything.
Yeah, there's a lot little things like that. Like you can even turn your headlights on the ship and stuff. It's cool.
I like
Because why
that.
not, right?
Yeah, because why not?
Details.
Exactly. And then
Details.
like there's a lot of
Is there a wiper?
There's a lot of things. No, it doesn't rain in space. But like
You don't know.
Who knows, man?
Who knows?
Maybe it
Yeah,
rains
who knows, I
space
guess.
jumpers.
but like
The water
I mean,
becomes bubbles and whatnot, but they can still touch something.
They discovered water on Mars.
Methane.
the AI also is not the smartest cookie in the book. Like, and it's kind of annoying. Like, if you're fighting someone, like for example, you're fighting a pirate, whatever, and like a friendly gets in front of you and you accidentally shoot it, you're automatically given a bounty on your head because like, oh, you shot this guy. You know, here's a bounty on your head now. So you got to be kind of careful sometimes when you're
Reminds me of Skyrim all of a sudden.
when you're in a firefight. Yeah, there's even stuff like one of the features is like if you get attacked, it automatically calls like it basically there's a space 911 and the cops if there is a space station in your system, they'll send cops basically to help you. But you could actually turn that off if you want to become like a pirate, you know, and stuff. So it's a lot of a lot of small little cool things that are there.
How many people can be in one online game? How big are we talking about in the mode?
I in a private game you mean, or like in the open?
Oh,
mode?
okay, fine. In the private game.
Well, I don't know how many, but so far we've tried up to 6 and it's fine.
The online one can.
Yeah. The full online one is really the MMO, like system yet for everyone. Like in EVE Online, everyone knows if you want to go to market, you go to Jita. But here the game, like, that hasn't been established yet. So players are all over the damn thing, all over the damn universe. And it's a huge, huge, huge universe to explore. So encountering other players is actually quite a rarity still. I guess also
Which actually makes sense if you think about it, because you're in space, my friend. It shouldn't be crowded at all.
But there are, plenty of NPC ships and stuff, so it doesn't feel like, you're
like an empty space, literally.
Like it's totally empty, yeah. But, meeting, other players, like I haven't tried PvP in any form yet, but, one of our things that we want to do, like me and my friends, is like once we get our ships upgraded, we're gonna try some piracy out. See how that goes.
Pirates. Ooh, pirates. That's actually pretty awesome.
Yeah, so that's what I've been playing. That's the game I've been playing for the end of the year.
For me, weirdly enough, at the end of the year, it's actually something that it's an indie game. I picked up in Steam because it's not in the winter sale. And just for those who don't know, or living on the rock, the winter sale is happening. And I didn't buy it in the winter sale. I have not bought a single thing yet, but it'll happen eventually, though. But the game I'm talking about is the Dungeon of the Endless. I saw it in one of those daily deals. It was only 180 pesos. It was like 50% off. And it's a game I've been keeping an eye on for the longest time. And I totally forgot that it came out already. And it was 50% off. It's awesome. It came out, I think, in October. And essentially, it's very unique. What this game is. It's pretty much a top-down. It's played as a top-down strategy game, but it has so many elements added into this game, making it a very unique experience. Because we're talking about a game that requires you to do somewhat semi base management, somewhat similar to like tower defense, RPG elements like equipping your heroes with weapons and leveling them up, and some strategy like turn-based strategy elements where it feels like there's like turns, and then you get resources and you have to manage where you want to put those resources, and all of those elements try to revolve under your group of heroes trying to get out of this. I think this building or this compound. You're pretty much trying to get to the surface, because how the game starts is like your ship's crashing. You crash land this unknown planet, and all of a sudden you're now trying to find a way to survive, reach all the way to the top, and then escape the planet. And it looks like there's like 8, 9 floors that I have to deal with, and how it goes is once you start a level, for example, level 1, you start off in one room, and you have this little thing, this little orb that pretty much like it came from your ship, and it's what you need to power up the many rooms that you'll be exploring in that certain floor. So how the game works is once you open a door in a floor, that essentially ends your turn and makes another it makes you go to the next turn. And once you do that, it's like you expand your area. And once you do that, once you open a door, you get resources like materials and like food for your guys, and then some research. And essentially, you kind of have to like manage what you have to do in order to survive. Once you open another door, another turn happens, you get more resources, but you don't know what's actually behind the other doors. It could be a couple of monsters. It could be like a merchant where you can actually buy stuff, or it could actually be some kind of module where you can actually start putting a specific structure to get more, like for example, more food or more structure. And essentially, you're trying to open these doors and these rooms to eventually lead to the exit of that floor. And once you reach that exit, you have to bring your energy source, which was in the start, all the way to that elevator so you can go up to the second floor. So essentially, you're just doing that until you reach the top. If you die, you start all over again. So it's a roguelike game. And it's not easy at all. Just like any other rogues. I think Binding of Isaac.
I've played it too, and I actually enjoy like the balance. Like you want to explore, but exploring also has the risk of making it more difficult for you.
Yeah.
When you're trying to move the core to the exit, and just sort of balancing out exploring, leveling. It's got so many elements there. Like you level up your guys. There's the exploration aspect. There's the base building aspect. So it's an interesting combination of a lot of genres, and they just got it to work together so well.
I think it works really well. It's like it makes you. It's very randomized. Whenever you die, the levels you go through, it's very randomized. So you're not getting the same thing over and over. So your tactics pretty much change because like I have never played the game the same way because like I've had a game where I'm mostly focused on building stuff like building turrets and all that, and I completely negated leveling up my characters and all that. And you can see that kind of decision really weigh on you as you move forward, as you go through different levels. So it requires you to actually balance out from like doing some research, building some turrets to defend your pathway to your exit, and also of course your heroes, because your heroes can die really fast if they don't level up. So it really requires a lot of management, and like I said before, it's a tower defense. Because when you open a door, if you're unlucky or when you open a door, you might trigger like maybe a wave of enemies coming from different sides of whatever door you've opened, and that kind of like triggers like you have to start fighting, you have to start establishing your defenses and all that, and it gets really intense. Even though you have that little like use spacebar to pause it, it's still very hard to manage. And I'm enjoying it though. I'm enjoying it a lot. I haven't unlocked all the characters yet, and apparently. Depending on what ship you use to crash land into the planet, it kind of gives like a modifier. Like the first ship you have, it has no modifier at all. But if you unlock different ships, like it changes the game setting. Or like I think there's one ship where you get more science points at this one point, but you kind of have a drawback for that. So it's kind of interesting in that way. I only reached 5 levels. I'm not too sure about you, Will. I don't know if I can reach any further. It's kind of so hard. It's like
It does get hard really fast, and it's got that. I was saying like it also has elements of faster than light because the ships give different bonuses and things like that. Although I think ultimately it's those bonuses aren't that important in the longer scheme of things. Like it's more of leveling up your characters. I think towards the end, but. I haven't gone that. I think you've gone farther than I have actually.
Yeah,
Have you noticed also all the heroes are kind of based off action hero sci-fi stereotypes?
oh really? I didn't really pay attention to it.
Have you noticed that? Oh, because like there's a character there that's like Doctor Who. There's a guy there who's like Picard.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. Actually, I'm trying to think about it now.
There's a Ellen Rip. There's a Met Samus
There's
Aran,
there's a Samus one. Yeah, there's also Ellen Ripley.
and
Actually,
there's Arnold. You know, there.
yeah, the slow ass guy. Yeah, like he's been kicking my ass because he's so. So I remember like I used the Arnold guy and I used that one that reminded me of Ellen Ripley, and we got the energy core from the starting area and we had to run. And for some reason, the one who was holding the fucking energy core was the slow guy, which is Arnold. And my God, I had to defend that guy as he was going straight there. It was not a good idea. No, but yeah, I'm starting to remember. Yeah, it's kind of like a stereotype, like all the sci-fi characters. And I think they have a lot. They have actually a lot of them. And each of these characters, each of these heroes actually have different abilities and stats. And they have different weapon types. Because when you go through specific rooms, you get to uncover like certain chests, and those chests can actually give you like new weapons or new utility items or armor. And I don't know. Actually, towards like the 5th level or the 6th level, I was getting confused already. I was like, it felt like more like a Dragon Age kind of deal where like I don't know where my items are anymore. Like, should I put it to this guy and stuff like that? Or I'm going to sell it to this one. Like, it became really deep, and then you kind of can feel what you're lacking in your strategy, because I can't seem to find the perfect medium. Because, like for example, I did not touch any turrets. I didn't improve my turrets. For some reason, I can't do well in terms of defense anymore. My heroes can defend, but all of a sudden they start throwing these random like new enemies, like the ones that are super fast. But since my turrets are pretty shit, like I don't have any slow turrets or anything, they just bypass my heroes and they go straight to my core, and then I get screwed up. Like it's a really hard balance, and I like it's a very like rinse and repeat, like live and learn kind of deal. I'm enjoying it. Like I downloaded the game. I think it was like 400 MB only. It was like 180 pesos. I downloaded it. It was done in after a couple of hours. I played it. 4 hours just went by, just like that. And and apparently the modes are easy and very easy. And I'm playing on easy, and I don't think there's normal. I think they're just taunting me in that way. There's also multiplayer, which I am kind of urging.
We should try that one time, actually. I'd like to try that.
Because maybe 2 heads are better than 1 in this game, hopefully. So I don't know how it works.
She said.
Oh no!
But this is also this is the same developers as what you were talking about last week, which is
yes,
I think,
the Endless Legend, and then they were the ones who also made Endless Space. Yeah, which was a good attempt at a 4X game a la Master of Orion, but it had its problems. And as
what's their next
last,
Endless
if you want to
game
hear about
gonna be?
Endless, I don't know.
They have fantasy. They have sci-fi.
Yeah, but if you guys want to hear about Endless Legend, just go ahead and listen to the last podcast where I talk a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Long story short, it's like fantasy civilization, and I really liked it.
Yeah, for Dungeon of the Endless though, for those who love roguelike games, and we're talking about games like Binding of Isaac, Rogue Legacy. What else is there? Like those games where they require you to like start all over again because they hate you. Then you might just like this.
Or FTL actually. FTL is also a roguelike.
Oh yeah,
FTL,
that's also a
same.
roguelike.
Yeah, that's another roguelike. Yeah, they hate you so much. Imagine Dark Souls as a roguelike game.
Then that wouldn't be Dark Souls anymore.
Well,
No,
you would. Oh, okay.
Dark Souls is all memorization and precision. It's not about random.
That's true.
All right, so
What about you?
I've got not as quite an interesting Amiibo story as the last two.
Oh, you're gonna give an Amiibo hunt update, okay?
Yeah, because it's all Christmas nonsense, so I didn't really get to play anything. So, yep, Amiibo Watch. Number 3,
Amiibo Watch
I guess.
2014, the last
Tiki-tiki-ting.
Amiibo Watch in 2014.
You're still hunting it down? Holy
More or
shit.
less. I still have not completed the first wave. But anyway.
What are you missing from the first wave?
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. Because a friend of mine
Amiibos
ran
are
me
those
from
Wii U figures, for those who don't know.
yeah the Nintendo figures that like you can tap on your Wii U game tab and they appear in Super Smash Brothers and kick the shit out of you. So a friend of mine asked me on Facebook if I'm collecting the Amiibo figures, if I'm collecting all of them. Then
And you were...
he asked like what are the ones I already have. So I kind of had an inkling that he's gonna give me an Amiibo for Christmas. So I told him what I
Wow.
and
Okay.
I had to still my reflexes of buying another Amiibo before
you didn't know what he would get you.
Well, for sure he's gonna get the more common ones that are around. So it was
Right.
it was either Fox, Peach, or Pikachu. So I thought about getting Fox, but then like no, I'm gonna hold it off. I'm just gonna wait till
Most common way to ask, like, what Amiibos don't you have?
Yeah, it's the problem when you're buying something for a person who collects maybe toys and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
that's true. It's
who
like you don't
do
want
not
to
have in your collection.
exactly.
I'm gonna get that, right?
You can't surprise a collector because like
It's
you
like,
don't-
I
if
already
you-
have it.
Exactly. You might disappoint them if you try.
Actually, that's true. I had a dilemma once when I was trying to buy a gift for a collector. Yeah, I agree.
It's not easy.
It's
It's a
not.
hard life.
It is.
Sakto lang, he got me Peach and Pikachu, which are his two main characters in Smash Brothers. So I guess that kind of worked out then. And I looked around at the other shops. All the Japanese Season 2 figures are just gone. And none of the other, like, Wave 2 hasn't arrived yet. And there's, like, news articles of, like, Wave 2 being delayed everywhere. Pre-orders are being dropped and all that. It's gonna be...
Do you have Samus? I saw Samus.
Yeah, I got Samus.
Yeah, yes, I remember.
But I'm still missing the three rarer characters in Wave 1 and then just Fox na lang.
That's the Villager, Wii Fit
Mars.
Trainer, and Mars, right?
Trainer.
I think I saw Fox down here.
Fox, I've seen Fox,
around.
Pikachu, and Peach actually in Data Blitz.
Fox is around. I guess he's one of the more popular characters. Because he has been in Smash since the beginning.
Yeah. And Fox is actually not a bad character at all. He's actually pretty good.
He's okay.
He's a mez. But anyway.
That's just it. That's my Amiibo watch. Then I just I watched a bunch of Arrow and Flash.
Your binge watch hero shows.
I
Getting
watched
them all
The
out
Hobbit
of the way.
before I got back, before we did the podcast. So now I'm like really curious about the Hobbit game that came out like last gen. I mean 2 gens ago.
Hobbit game.
Yeah, the one it's like a Zelda for PS2 that nobody
Yeah.
really talked about.
And that's it for our impressions. Now we are moving on to everything 2014, I guess. I think we're pretty much going to be jotting down like everything that happened or like how was 2014 in a nutshell, because we're now at the tail end of the year. Everything is done. No one's talking. Everybody just wants to have their eggnog and their presents opened and just have it all done, and then celebrate the new year. And then we do it all over
And
again.
we're looking forward to next year too. Let next year. We'll talk about next year when next year.
When next year hits, like we'll talk about that. Most probably that'll be our focus on the first episode of 2015.
Yeah, what we're looking forward to in 2015, basically.
Yeah, but with 2014 in general,
This was actually a big year. This was the first full year for Xbox One and PS4.
Yep.
yeah.
And the first full year of the next gen. Well,
It's the
current
full year
generation,
of the
basically.
current generation, like in full force, like
and we're starting to see finally the slowing down of Xbox 360 and PS3 titles. I actually have a feeling next year we won't see more than 5.
We'll probably just see like a few Japanese games that are being localized and then coming
Yeah.
out on previous gen.
And sports games.
Oh yeah, of
Sports
course.
games, yeah.
The next 5 years will just be sports games and wrestling games.
that weird transition where just all you got left in your system is just sports.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's in full force now. We are seeing we've talked a couple of many times on the sales of the current gen platforms, the PS4 doing so well and all that. But towards the later half, we had Xbox One and Nintendo Wii U catching up, getting some sales better than last year. So they're adjusting, they're fixing their shit. And in terms of sales, in terms of the consoles in general, they did better. It was more than I was expecting in terms of like how well the console generation would have done with the rise of tablets and phones and just how strong the PC platform is still at this point. Like it's people still would like to spend like a hefty amount of money for a box to play video games.
Right. And actually, one thing that I guess this will come up later, but remember last year we were all hyped up about, was it last year or this year that we were hyped up about Steam machines, Steam boxes, and that was supposed to bring the PC gaming to the console generation, and we haven't seen much movement on that front, actually.
I guess it's rolling out in 2015. There's nothing we can do about it. And actually, rightfully so. I was kind of hyped up about it, but now it's like, since it kind of did not get any kind of trend at all or like any kind of like momentum going for it, and then like people are getting turned off by the actual price point and everything. Now I'm just like kind of like trying to find another reason why I want to get this already at this point. Like even their Steam controller for like Valve, like they're still not even finalized with that controller yet. They're still apparently they want to put a D-pad on that thing. Or put a start button. Like it's not final yet, as much as they keep saying it's a final version, but they're putting reiterations of the console. Like they said they're almost done at rolling out their platform or their console, but I think they still have to work on the kinks. That's why we haven't heard much about it. And I'm okay with it because I think the PS4 and the Xbox One and the Wii U is just. I think it needs more. I think that's enough for now, at least. At this point, in terms of consoles and platforms. Back to 2014, though.
We're still in 2014.
No, back to the discussion of it in overall. What do you guys...
In terms of like gaming news, a lot of stuff happened this year, but there was a lot of dilemmas and all that.
What happened in the first half again?
Well, Titanfall happened.
Yeah, Titanfall happened.
Well,
yeah.
no, I mean the year started out basically with the PS4 and Xbox One just looking to make to stake their claims. This is like
definitive edition.
We didn't know who would be the market leader. There was a whole bunch of games coming out for both systems, and it was pretty exciting actually to see that battle out. What else happened this year? Gamersgate happened this year. That's something happened, which actually never discussed because we feel it's bullshit and not worth discussing.
It really is.
But apparently some gamers think it's a big deal.
No, but what is Gamergate in a nutshell, though? I mean, like if you have to.
It's just about game journalism and ethics.
It's Obama, please. Yeah. So thanks, Obama, the gaming edition.
No, what is it really?
No, it's no. That's what I say. It's about ethics and game journalism and feminism and all kinds of stuff. It's just a big mess. It's just basically about game journalists and women. I don't even know how to explain it. It's more complicated than that. I'm not doing it justice describing it that way, but it's such a convoluted, messed up thing that it's difficult to talk about and honestly not worth our time. It's not, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, that happened, and the Gamergate, because it's actually just the tropes about like feminism and in games.
Well, what else happened this year? On brighter things, the Nintendo Wii U finally picked up.
Finally,
the big.
Towards the second half, it finally
not the third half of the year, I'd say.
Yeah,
it was a big welcome though for I think a lot of people.
Yeah, but it paid off because they were banking so heavily on these fall and Q3, Q4 releases. Then it's good that it paid off.
And then Amiibo showed up.
Oh yeah, so Nintendo's getting a lot of money now.
Yeah, the action figures that are somewhat like Disney Infinity and all that. So at least they're getting money going their way.
Yeah. We saw a
And
trend this year of remastering games, definitive
editions of everything.
yeah, we saw like that word like trumps cloud at this point. I think, in terms of like the trending word for like the game industry at this point. I don't think I like a single one of those remasters. I guess GTA 5 looks the same and good. I don't know, but I don't know. Is it? I think it's just too much, or it's just them like rolling out another way for people to just double dip, because like they're just remasters look exactly the same. Even for me, like as much as people say GTA 5 looks amazing and the PS4 looks the same to me, for example.
Well, I'm sure if you played, let's say, what is it, The Last of Us on the PS3, and compared to what you played on the PS4, you would see a difference actually.
That's true, but I didn't.
Yeah. Personally, in my opinion, like I'd like the idea of re-releasing old games for because there are times when you might not have had the opportunity to play a game back in the day, but you also have to balance it. How much money are you really spending to update this for the new market?
Yeah.
Why not give them?
I guess it's not hard if they keep doing it.
Yeah, and they make it money, but what I don't like is them selling it for full price. That's the thing. Unless it's something like for example The Last of Us Remastered, which is relatively new, and I think the Last of Us was still selling for full price when the remastered version came out.
Yeah, about sure.
But something like, say, Sleeping Dogs, which is an old game.
Last year.
Why to have it come out with a definitive edition now for full price? Why not just? You could have probably made more sales with it at a cheaper price, I think.
Well, at a cheaper price, yeah, and like I'm not saying that Sleeping Dogs is not a bad game or anything like that. It's just it's a good opportunity for those who haven't played the game to play something which I think what was considered like a very good sleeper hit in that year.
You're right.
But definitely a lower price. Like, I don't see the definitive in that edition. I mean,
it's getting more and more absurd because they're just bringing a lot of these weird choices for games to bring to the next gen console.
Right.
Like they're bringing Final Fantasy X and 10 to PS4.
It's like HD.
Yeah. You
HD.
a PS2 game on a PS4.
And basically, these remasters, quote unquote, are essentially the PC versions.
Yeah, more like fucking Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider.
Like fucking Final Fantasy VII, the PC version for the PS4. Holy shit!
A PS1 game
man.
On your PS4.
Final Fantasy VII, 1994.
Oh
is
my
it?
god!
Oh my god.
1997.
No, but it's exactly the point, because remember, for multi-plat games that are released on PC, the PC version generally has higher graphical settings, so
better hair.
You will get the full HD from, like, I remember when this is an older one, but Beyond Good and Evil was re-released with the HD edition at some point. Not this year, but like a year or two ago. And I had it on PC, which is pretty much the HD edition because I'm already playing it at 1080p, resolution on my computer. So there was no need for me to double dip on that. But I guess, for if it's easy enough to do, why not? Yeah, if it's easy enough for them to do it, then why not do it, right?
No, but it's still weird. It's weirdly absurd because like they just announced then the DA Cry is also getting a new edition with all the DLC and all that.
Right,
and
Devil
even
May Cry,
more
and Devil May Cry 4 also.
DMC4 is getting a PS4 version with Virgil in it, which I don't even know.
Yeah, so like this year is literally like the year of remasters. Like we started off with like Sleeping Dogs, Tomb Raider, the definitive edition with hair, The Last of Us.
That's right.
And then for those who don't know, a lot of games have been announced as remasters for the current gen for like Xbox One and PS4. Like what Miggy mentioned, Devil May Cry 4 was announced. DMC, the I guess the reboot of Devil May Cry is also getting a remaster. Ultra Street Fighter 4 is getting a remaster. Resident Evil 1 is getting a remaster next year. Damn it, Capcom, what the fuck? Saints Row 4 is getting a remaster.
Right.
Saints Row 4? Why?
Because
money.
Superpowers, man.
Actually, you know what? I don't mind the Resident Evil remake because it looks
Because that's a good version of RE1.
That is actually a proper remake. They're not just
Yeah.
taking the PS1 and making it 1080p like
Took them
Square,
3 years.
right?
Yeah,
They're
the
actually
game- it's essentially
redoing
the
everything.
game version in HD. Yeah, more or less.
So for me, that kind of re-release is I'm totally okay
But
with.
then you have Final Fantasy VII.
Then you have something like
Then you have Final
which I think
Fantasy
Square
VII.
is abusing when they say it's a remastered or whatever.
The worst announcement ever.
And people are going all crazy for it, and then when it comes out, it's gonna be like, what the hell?
I actually watched that announcement and I was going crazy. I was like, oh my god, it might be the Final Fantasy VII remake that everybody's been going bonkers on.
Use the footage.
He plays the footage, and I thought it was like them like transforming like the old
Yeah,
version.
you think it fades to the new graphics, diba?
It never happened.
It just keeps going.
kept
Then
going.
your smile starts disappearing, and like, what the
And my
fuck?
cries kept going.
To be fair, he did say it's the PC version long, right before they showed the footage.
Yeah.
That's so bullshit.
Wasn't paying attention apparently.
so
Okay, but yeah, Saints Row 4. I'm not even done with the list. Metro 2033, Last Light, the
Yeah.
Metro Redux remaster. I don't know if it's worth it, but they say it's worth it. I don't know. Whatever. It's a good game though. It's a good game.
It's two good games, diba, in one.
Yeah.
Those Metro games in it.
Yeah. Dark Souls 2 is coming out next year for PS4. Like
I'm happy with that.
that I'm actually happy. Yeah, because Dark
60
Souls 2
FPS
is
on console, that's good.
very good. It's very good.
With a bunch
And
of-
Dark Souls 2 is literally a really good game. So good game.
Really good.
And then, of course, Borderlands
Mm,
for next year. I mean, okay. I'm so sick of Borderlands, really. It's like Assassin's Creed all over again. But no, yeah, Borderlands. It's
I don't
also-
even understand why Borderlands is getting a remake, because I mean, I think the game looks fine. Like,
It's not a remake. It's more like it's a double dip version of the game. You want to play in the PS4? Here you go.
yeah, but why not just call it like a Game of the Year edition or something? Like, don't call it a remake or a remastered or whatever.
it's all about the big words now, man.
You never know. Maybe Borderlands 2 was never 60 FPS. I don't know.
This, the search engine optimization and the marketing. It's what the kids like.
As much as like these games are like we don't like the remasters, like some of them are actually really good games. Like for example, like Ultra Street Fighter 4, Metro Last Light, Dark Souls
Right.
2,
No, and we've heard
The Last of Us.
We've heard remasters of games that we really want. I know, like Grim Fandango, we're excited for.
Oh,
Day,
that's the other one, yeah.
Day of the Tentacle.
They have the tentacles coming back.
Oh, and let's not also forget Master Chief Edition, which I think is one of them a really amazing remaster. Which again, by the way, they just announced that the ODST.
Right.
They did a remaster of that, and they're giving those who bought the Master Chief collection, they're giving that game, that remaster, for free.
That's fantastic. That's
So
great.
if you have the Master Chief edition with all the remasters of all the all the Halo games,
Halo games.
yeah, ODST, they've apparently made an HD version or a remaster version. You're getting that for free, the campaign. I don't know when it's coming out, but that's going to be an update for that, which is good. But going back to the remasters, there's a lot. Grim Fandango. I don't know what else. What else did they mention? Like I know Tim Schafer's also working on another one, like the Day of the Tentacle.
Day of the Tentacle, right.
Yeah.
Right. And well, we recently saw a trailer for King's Quest, which is
It's not really a remaster, more like a remake.
it's a
Remake.
complete remake. Yeah.
Full on remake.
Yeah, it's like a remaster.
Oh shit, I forgot. Dead or Alive 5 is also coming out on current gen now.
That's correct.
Like
with
the last
with
round version
The
with
last round is coming
all the
out.
DLCs and the new characters.
And,
all
yeah,
the
Supposedly.
all the DLCs. What are you talking about? All the bikinis?
basically
It's
all
probably
the
not-
bikinis.
Yeah.
Probably not even all, because like even Ultimate only came with half the DLC costumes.
That's
And they kept releasing more. So it's not so Ultimate.
yeah, they just released animal
my
costumes,
God.
I think, right?
Yep.
Well,
And the
Yeah.
Christmas costumes too, which,
oh, that's
no
true.
joke, some of them are just ribbons.
Good for $1.
No, not even. It's like, I think 5 per 3 characters or something like that. It's really
For 3
it's
characters.
absurd.
What other things have happened this year? What other?
Well, aside from the whole remasters, it's also a year of delays. if you think about it.
Yes,
It's
we
year of
we have
delays.
had delays.
We were supposed to have Batman Arkham
Batman,
Knight.
yeah, Batman was supposed to come
We were
out this
supposed to have Witcher 3. We were supposed to have the Order 8086. We were supposed to have Mad Max. By the way, what the hell happened to Mad Max?
year. Still no
we
news
were
about
supposed,
that?
yeah, well, and not just that. Like, we were supposed to have, well, Watch Dogs was delayed, although it was released this year. But I don't think the Wii U version is not yet out, is it?
I think it's already out.
Is
Just
it?
No
Oh,
one cares. I think no one cares.
I
But
haven't
that
heard
one
about
was-
it. I don't think it's out.
Yeah, I don't think it is either.
I don't think
I
anyone
don't
think it's out.
Wii U players are still waiting for their chance to hack the planet.
Are they? They probably don't even know anymore.
Maybe just consider it as canceled. No, but yeah, like I said,
Battlefield Frontline was delayed also. The new Battlefield was delayed.
yeah, it's supposed to be coming out in November, but apparently they didn't want to go through the Call of Duty, so they went straight up to March. The Division was literally planned for this year, and it was like pumped out to 2015. And that's a lot of.
But do you
delays.
think that's a unique thing for this year? Like delays happen pretty much every year, but I guess
Delays
it's the
happen,
first-
but not in this extent in terms of like AAA titles. It's just more. It's now starting to sound like they're just like hyping up the year for people to like up. I want to prepare myself for 2014 because there's so much to play.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. Like that's my take on it. But you know, like you said, it could be a reason because like Witcher 3 was supposed to come out in Feb. Now it's on May or something, or I forgot the delay. Like they delayed it again because they were worried about the quality of AAA titles at this point, thanks to Assassin's Creed Unity, for example. And
Yeah.
which leads me to the next, which segues me to the next thing that happened in 2014. We had a lot of broken games.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed is one of them for sure.
Battlefield 4 was broken all throughout the year as well.
The whole year, Battlefield 4 was.
Did you see
busted.
the
Yeah,
latest
that's-
news about Assassin's Creed? Oh
No,
my
what's
God.
the latest? What's the latest news of Assassin's Creed?
Wait, I
There's
was
no
lagging
news.
really hard.
There's no go.
No, there is. The patch for all the bug fixes that was supposed to come out
Yeah.
on PS4, the patch was like 7 gigs, which is huge already. But on Xbox One, it was 40 gigs.
What's the whole
'Cause
game?
someone fucked up.
Oh my
Yeah,
god. That's the download the whole
Apparently,
game.
somebody released the patch with the whole game on Xbox One.
I told
What's
you
happening
to.
at Ubisoft?
I told you to upload that file, not that file. That's most likely the conversation actually right now.
In French.
I think the reason why we saw a lot of busted games though was a lot of people were just trying to get stuff out for the new systems, you know, and show not just broken games, but a lot of games that were just incomplete or missing features, like the new Thief that comes
Sonic
to mind.
Boom.
There you go, the new Sonic.
What about Thief? What's wrong with Thief?
The new Thief was terrible.
Oh, okay.
Like,
it's
it's-
flat out terrible. Okay.
Well, I don't know if it's due to the design was just bad or what, but it didn't feel like Thief. There was a lot of stuff people were expecting that weren't there. Whether they really forgot to put those in or what, I don't know. But
Yeah, a lot of people thought it was a very disappointing release actually this year. That's true.
one other thing that happened this year, I think.
No, wait. When it was
sorry.
broken, I kind of forgot one because this one's actually pretty big.
Yeah.
Not only not only Battlefield 4, not only Assassin's Creed Unity. Like this is like one of the biggest missteps for like Sony. Like Drive Club
Yes,
is
Drive Club
still
was-
not working until now.
was
Whoever
broken
has
as
it.
heck.
I thought it was fixed already.
No, it's not. Online shit is still shit. Like the PlayStation Plus version of Drive Club is nowhere to be seen. We were supposed to get a free version of Drive Club in October.
Oh,
It's still
I know the
PPA.
free version isn't up, but like I think the base game has been fixed.
No, the base game is like running, but the online function of it's still not like don't play it online. The infrastructure of its online thing is completely shit. That's why the online like the free version is also like being delayed. It's one of the big reasons why. And I don't know, like people are just not buying this game anymore because it's a complete failure. It was not worth like the full price and whatnot.
Yeah,
And
I've even heard like the Master Chief collection, like the multiplayer was messed up there.
yeah, that too.
I heard
even-
people having fun with all the broken shit in Master Chief Collection.
Even, I don't know, Destiny had a lot of broken stuff on its release, no? Like,
No, actually, Destiny was actually one of the smoothest things. It's just everything, all the content is the problem. Like,
yeah, like the
structure.
loot cave and everything, right?
All that one, yeah, that's kind of broken too as well.
Yeah.
But that's just players being players, really.
Yeah, you
That's
just
players being
exploiting something
looters.
there,
Yeah. What else has been happening in 2014?
Well, I think
Um,
one big thing I want to mention this is I think this was a good year for the horror genre, a very good year for the horror genre because we had games like Five Nights at Freddy's, we had games like Dread Out, we had games like Outlast, The Evil Within.
That's true.
A lot of good horror games came out this year, and it's a very welcome thing, I think.
It's a very welcome thing. It's a genre that needs a lot of love, and we saw that here in 2014. So if you guys want to have a good scare, there's actually a good amount of good titles out there in different ranges of different price ranges, actually. Like
Yeah, and you have, I think a lot of it was thanks to indie games like Slender. I think that's not the 2014 game, but that definitely inspired a lot of new games, of new horror games to come out, and it goes to show that you don't need like a AAA budget to create a good horror game.
Yeah.
And even the mechanics of like Slender, you can see a lot of that in a lot of the newer games. Like I think what else came out? There was the one where you play as a kid. I think that I forgot what this is.
Oh, I forgot the name of that.
Yeah.
Where you're looking for your mom. And you're like a toddler.
Yeah, there was the one also that was written by Jessica Chobot. I forgot what that was called.
Mass Effect. No, I'm just
Mass
kidding.
Effect.
No,
Mass Effect is a good game.
Among
She
the
was in
Sleep.
it.
Sorry, that was the one.
That's the baby game, Among the Sleep.
Daylight is the one written by Jessica Chobot. That came out this year.
That's
so
also
yeah,
a roguelike.
it's more like Slender. You just sort of walk around, look for things, and like a ghost comes up at you and scares you. We had
that was actually
the playable trailer for the PT for
Silent Hill, yeah,
Silent
the PT.
Oh, dude! Who has a PS4 who hasn't tried PT, you haven't used your PS4.
You haven't been scared.
Fox engine, man.
You haven't been paying attention. Like you guys have to like download that 1 gigabyte of fear and tension and cluster. It's so good. It's really good. And then you have Norman Reedus' face as a reward. I mean, why not? Right?
Yeah.
Or no? it's that, yeah, like horrors in 2014 was actually like a good high for the year, and hopefully we see that as a good point for the game industry to like continue that trend for next year. I definitely want to see more like either indie or AAA titles like sending all the scares. Like Until Dawn, it's actually showing a good promise. Like for example, the PS4 exclusive. Like as much as it's very gimmicky, it's still a horror game that I might trip out with. I want to save the cheerleader, save the world. What else happened in 2014 that is worth mentioning? It's a good list of November games. No, I don't know. Can you say that? Like the fall and holiday lineup. I was actually pretty happy with it. It had a good
We had
variety.
One thing I forgot to mention that this it's not. I don't know if it's big or not, but Amazon sort of entered the market. If you remember earlier in the year,
the gaming scene, yeah, they bought Twitch.
They bought Double Helix, who were making Killer Instinct.
Oh, yeah, we forgot to mention that. Yeah, that's actually pretty big.
So there were acquisitions like that. Facebook buying Oculus VR, that happened.
That's
also,
true. Yeah,
right.
That's actually 2014 thing, which is a big thing. Facebook owns Oculus Rift, which is we'll see. I like Oculus Rift. So
Microsoft bought Mojang.
Microsoft bought Mojang. Yep, that's industry.
Knox
Yeah.
bought a mansion for $70 million.
I saw that article. Yeah. Speaking of Mojang, though, since we're on that topic right now, it was one of the big news bits that came out this week. Telltale Games' latest game will be, or upcoming game will be
Minecraft. How?
story mode.
Yeah, I'm very curious curious to how that would
Dude,
be.
it's like if Minecraft had to ask someone, can you please make a story for this game? The perfect person to ask is Telltale Games, and I'm pretty excited about it. See what
You'll
happens.
finally
I'm
know the
curious-
name of your character.
I'm curious to know how it will play. Like, will it play like Minecraft, or will it play like their standard Telltale adventure games?
I think maybe their standard Telltale game embedded in Minecraft.
We'll see. Yeah, I guess. But okay.
So we'll see. Yeah, but yeah, I just want to put that in, like, because we're talking about Mojang in his house and shit. But
Actually, speaking of companies, Telltale Games has done well for themselves this year. They released a lot.
They
They
released
released
so many games this year, yeah.
season
Yeah,
2 of Walking Dead. They released The Wolf
They
Among Us.
finished Wolf Among Us and
They did
Tales
the
of the
Borderlands game
and
the Game of Thrones. That's
yep, episode one for each of those, like
The last
Game of
two.
Thrones and Tales of the Borderlands already out. If you guys want to pick it up for $5, and we can't really say much about it because we haven't played it. But yeah, there's a lot of games coming out of Telltale Games, and I think more some in like 2015.
Oh, another purchase. Nordic Games buying out the remains of THQ.
Oh, was that this year?
Yeah,
That
THQ games.
happened.
Oh, that happened. Okay, I know.
I think this was the year also when Marvel decided to take back all their IPs.
Is that worth mentioning?
I know that fighting game came out already on iOS.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
heard that
It's just
crap
like
fighting game
Injustice.
came out. And I heard
It's
like
just
it's a
like
worse,
Justice.
but it's worse, right? Or
Yeah, it's more Mababo.
It's more Mababo.
Because like
Marvel
in Justice,
can't make games.
you had to like break the AI by blocking correctly and then punishing.
yeah.
In this one, it just looks like mash as hard as you can and see if it'll work.
Does Doctor Doom have a foot dive?
I don't even know if he's in the game.
Yeah. But again, I think that is a big deal, actually. Marvel basically buying back all their video game franchises. Not just
On that topic, Marvel vs. Capcom Origins has been delisted as of this podcast.
It's gone. Sorry, guys, if you didn't get it.
Like,
you'll
we're
never-
recording this on the last day that it's up on PSN and Xbox Live.
So you
Yeah.
might have a chance. Well, no, you won't actually. By
I
the
lost
time you hear this, it's gone.
It's gone forever.
Gone forever. Damn it.
But it's not just the fighting games that were delisted. The Deadpool game I heard was removed
Yep.
from sale. And that was a relatively new game.
That just
too.
came out at the time, yeah.
This year. Well, I guess we can just pick up the retail because I see it.
Yeah, but then, like, the digital games that don't have retail, that's the sad part. We might not
Yeah,
see
that's
those again.
That's true.
Right. And what are we left with now is we have a Spider-Man Endless Runner on mobile. We have a crappy Injustice clone on mobile.
Let Marvel just get their shit together and
have,
they get their head out of their ass and they just start asking real developers to make their games.
I hope so, because well, they're still giving out movie license titles to like Activision. They're still making Spider-Man games, aren't they?
Yeah, but it's not the best fucking game ever, though.
No,
It's been decent compared to the previous ones. That I'll say that much.
Okay.
But it's still kind of poopy, and it's on PS4. It's Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I have it. Oh, my cousin, my nephew has it. I saw
like
it.
shit.
It's very
It looks
very
like
clunky.
but on PS4.
yeah. So, hopefully Marvel gets their things together.
Oh, another thing I want to mention though about 2014. We never were able to plug this in that podcast, and I think this is actually worth mentioning. We also lost we've actually lost a couple of people this year. We actually lost the father of video games.
That's right. That guy. He
Oh yeah, the guy who made the Magnavox Odyssey.
Yep, Ralph Baer. He passed away actually I think this month only. He was 92.
Yep, 92.
And he was deemed it's a good age to go. He was deemed the father of video games. He was pretty much was the first one to actually invent
He made the first
actual
home
box.
console. Yeah, the first video game
The
box.
actual box. So he is the reason why we're doing this. There's a reason why a lot of people are going bonkers in this industry. And it's sad for him to go.
Yep.
And he's not really a gamer. Well, he's kind of a gamer, but I still want to put him in.
He's a tinkerer.
No, not Ralph Baer. Ralph Baer.
Oh, all right.
I'm talking about the next one. We lost Robin Williams as well this year.
Oh,
Robin
man.
Williams, actually, and he was the big Nintendo fan.
He was a gamer. He played a lot of WoW.
And he named his daughter Zelda.
Yeah,
Yep.
and He's a character in WoW now. Like there's a genie.
Yeah, there's actually a genie that's called Robin Williams. I'm not sure if it's Robin Williams or Robin, but there's actually an NPC.
In World of Warcraft, really?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Like they actually petitioned, asked Blizzard to actually immortalize Robin Williams in respect, and Blizzard literally replied, "We'll see what we can do." They actually replied, so they did that. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, we lost a lot of very talented people this
Very
year,
talented actor.
and our actual father.
Oh, did you know that Zelda Williams is in The Legend of Korra?
Yeah, she's the enemy. I know.
Yep. She's the voice of Kuvira.
She's using all her anger
hot.
on that actress, on that role right now. What else happened? I think is that it? Like E3 was okay. Like the lineup.
They renamed the VGX to the Game Awards. I don't know.
Hey, we got to go to ESGS.
Oh yeah, something local.
ESGS, that's correct.
Something local. Yeah, the Esports and Gaming Summit. That was a lot of fun. That was, I didn't expect it to be that good and that exciting actually, to be honest. As much as we were only playing like mobile games and PC games, but there was a lot. It was a lot of cool people, a lot of cool, very talented developers. We get to try the Oculus Rift. We interviewed every single developer. We really maximized the hell out of that day 1, day 2 crap. Like we did not like sit around and play our 3DSs in the corner. No, we literally just walked around.
We made it an effort.
Yeah, we made a huge effort. It was worth every minute of it. And if you guys haven't checked it out, YouTube, it's all there.
Oh,
Playlist.
one thing that we should mention that it kind of we kind of forgot about it because we don't use it. But PlayStation Now was released this year, which is the streaming service for PS3 titles on Sony television sets.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's really made a big impact or not, or if people are using it.
Yeah, we didn't really get much information about PlayStation Now. They just it's there, people can use it. There you go. And
I think it's only available on Bravia TVs, from what I understand.
Yeah, and I think the PS3 can also use the PlayStation Now. I think. And of course the PlayStation 4.
But I mean, it's interesting to mention because this is, I think, the first real attempt by one of the big players to create a game streaming service. So whether the success or not of this will kind of, pave the path for the future of streaming, game content in that sense. Because this is the Gaikai thing, right? That they were doing before.
That's true, yeah. And I don't think, with the price point with PlayStation Now, I don't think I'll be checking that in.
I remember we discussed this very early in the year on the price point, and we were saying it was way too high for what it was offering.
And I think the last time I checked, it's still the same. So
still the same.
So screw them.
Right.
Screw them indeed. But I think that's about it. I'm not too sure if I'm lacking anything. Like,
well, I have one more thing that I would like to bring up. Well, this was a very interesting thing that happened this year. We saw it created a new genre, the massive multiplayer single player game. We saw Twitch Plays Pokemon. That happened this year. And if you don't know what Twitch Plays Pokemon is, it was sort of an experiment on Twitch where a guy would live stream a modified version of Pokemon, and anyone who was watching the Twitch stream could play it by inputting commands into the chat box. And this is the first time anything like this ever happened. And we saw how big it became was amazing, actually. Like, it blew up to a point where there was lore and weird stories and all kinds of stuff. And the guy had to proceed to go through 3 or 4 generations of Pokemon game successfully.
Twitch Plays Pokemon, that community actually finished all Pokemons, I think.
Really? Did they get up to the XY?
I think they were. I think the last time I heard about it, they were at X and Y. I mean, I think they went through a good amount of Pokemons. I think
they did, but I think it's cool that something like that unique was created, like just through sheer experiment.
Yo,
like,
am I back?
Yep, you're back. Yeah, I just added you in. Yeah, we're just talking about Pokemon. Twitch Plays Pokemon and
Fish Plays Street Fighter.
I haven't actually seen Twitch plays Street Fighter, but
That's not that exciting if you think about it. No, but that idea or that concept of literally bringing people together to finish a game, as much as
Social
it sounds,
experiment.
yeah, as much as it sounds really stupid, like it was so hard to control. But they eventually finished it. They literally eventually finished it.
not just one game. They finished.
They beat
like,
multiple Pokemon games.
Yeah, like I said. So like I guess like you said, as an experiment, and I think this experiment actually succeeded. Like if moderated properly, they can eventually just a band of gamers can eventually just finish a game with one command at a time.
That's why I call it like the massively multiplayer single player game.
That's a weird way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it could work. I think we saw a whole concept. We saw the Fish play Street Fighter. Remember that?
Yeah.
Biggs, do you remember that? When they had an aquarium with different quadrants, and then whenever the fish would. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I heard you said Twitch plays Street Fighter. Fish plays Street Fighter.
You got
like,
like
why
two
not?
pet fish duking it out. Like Fonda.
Yeah.
Also, well, in 2014, the third quarter, the fourth quarter, the big games like November, like the Burr month games, it had a good variety as well compared to like last year, because we had a good amount of we got some strategy, we got some horror, we got the usual fighting game, we got the usual adventure games, and some shooters. Like it had a good variety. It wasn't like bombarded with all shooters and all. Assassin's Creed. We had Alien Isolation, we had Dragon Age Inquisition, we had Call of Duty, Destiny, whatever that is. We had GTA again. No matter what, it's still a pretty good game. We had and then we had some also really interesting new IPs like Shadow of Mordor, which actually turned out to be really nice, and a lot more. And I think it was a good lineup, as much as we had a ton of delays that was pushed back all the way to 2015. It was actually pretty interesting. And I think next year I'll start to look back and I still want to play Shadow of Mordor, for example, or even Far Cry 4 if I actually have time to even bother with another Ubisoft game.
Yep. So, shall we get to our award ceremony?
We're gonna call that award ceremony. Yeah, our little
Best of.
Or best of.
Our best ofs, our individual best ofs.
Yeah, that's how we're gonna.
Let's save the best of for last. What did you say? Well, let's start with something.
Oh, you picked one then, and then we'll just knock it out.
Okay, let's go with what was the most overhyped game of the year, or the most overhyped whatever of the year?
There's a lot this year.
Yeah, that's why I put it in the category, because
I think we could unanimously say Watch Dogs.
But that was kind of like the overhyped of last year too. So that makes it a weird choice.
Which is why it's my number one, because it was overhyped all the way to the point of disappointment. Which is
I was fine with it, but I feel like there was more overhyped.
Okay, no, well, I'll start. Well, since you mentioned that much, I'm going to say that yes, that's my overhype of the year. I said that I think last year or something, or I think the start of the year, that Watch Dogs was the game that would push me to buy a PS4. I'm really excited for it. It really looks nice and everything. I didn't get it for the PS4, but I got it for the PC because people are saying it would be the most definitive version.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. Apparently, it was the PS4. Fuck. But everything about it, that if you take out the gimmick, which is the hacking part of the game, or with the cell phone, that works. But if you take that away, it was just, I don't know, it was just a very mundane experience for me. The story was not good. Aiden Pierce is one of the most dullest characters I've ever.
He's not even a likable protagonist.
Yeah,
he's not.
He's the worst character in the game.
Literally, the sister has more personality, and the sister hardly does anything. You know what I mean? And I don't know. Me playing GTA 5 before Watch Dogs, it was not that good of an open world game as well. So it was too overhyped. I was very disappointed. Once I literally I did some of the side quests, I literally just forced myself to finish the game, and once I finished that game, bam, shelved. There's no other reason to buy it. I uninstalled it. That's fucking 50 gigs or 40 gigs out of my PC system, and then that was done. The multiplayer was okay. It worked. It was actually pretty trippy. I'll give them that. Like the whole them invading your world.
Yeah,
that
be in
That's actually the biggest high point of that game.
and hacked it.
Yeah, it worked. But yeah, that's my overhype of the year. Like, damn you, Ubisoft. Damn you.
Is that the only one you can think of for the year? Because I can think of at least one more.
What about
Well,
Titanfall?
actually, yeah, Titanfall. I was gonna say.
Oh, really? I was satisfied with Titanfall.
I liked it a lot, but for
But nobody's
whatever
playing it now.
reason,
Nobody's playing it.
it's like like a firework. Like it's wonderful while it lasts, and then it's gone. Like what happened to it? It had no longevity. It had no. I don't know why either, because it was a good game. But even I'm guilty of not playing it anymore either.
Yeah, I played a fuck ton of it when it came out, like a month old, and I was super happy with it. As much as it had a horrible story and everything.
Yeah, that was a terrible story.
Yeah, whatever story it had, but I can't put it as my overhype because like I was hyped up for it, I bought it, and I was satisfied. You know what I mean?
Right.
As much as there was no longevity, which is like one of the biggest problems, like no one's playing it anymore. That's a sad point, because if there was people playing it, I would still be playing it every now and then. That's why Watch Dogs is still my number one, because I jumped into it, all happy, and I got the game, and then my face just started to like drop slowly as the hours went by. That's why. But I understand why you consider Titanfall as an overhype though of the year. So it's rightfully so, if ever. What about you, Migs?
Well, I can't think of anything else. But, like Watch Dogs, because I went into it not expecting a lot. Like it did exactly what I thought it would do in terms of like the phone controls, and it has that Ubisoft problem where every other side quest is more interesting than the main story.
Huh?
Am I lagging again?
No, I mean, huh? No, I mean, huh? I mean, what side quest are you talking about that was interesting?
No, like all the other things that appear on your map is more interesting than the main story. Like going to the towers and revealing more stuff in the city. Getting all the hideouts and all that.
No, now I get you. Okay.
Yeah, it's like Assassin's Creed also does that a lot, where it's more interesting to look at all these other things instead of going to the main story.
Yeah. So Watch Dogs is your choice, right?
I guess, but then personally, I don't really have much affinity to the hype behind it either.
There was so far all the hypes that you got for this year, it was satisfied. Is that what you're saying?
I looked on my list again. I didn't buy a lot of games that came out this year. Like I mostly bought a lot of stuff that I didn't get to play last year, and etc. like that.
Okay, I guess Watch Dogs can I guess stay that category.
People say that MGS5 Ground Zeroes was overhyped, but I really enjoyed that, so
yeah,
I wouldn't put it there.
As long as you enjoyed it, it's not really overhyped.
That game is so good. That demo is so good.
That demo is so good. All right, next category. Let's move on.
Let's move on. Our next category. Let me find this.
Let me knock this out of the list. There
what was your best indie game of the year?
Goat Simulator.
I had a feeling you're gonna say that.
Goat Simulator? Well...
Okay, for those who don't know what Goat Simulator is, please do indulge themselves.
Okay, go ahead and describe Goat Simulator.
You should justify explaining Goat Simulator.
That's why I want you to have this. Go ahead.
It's the most was it satirical play on the explosion of simulator games?
Yeah.
Because it's not. It's just like it's a sandbox playground where you can just dick around as a goat.
Right. It's not even like a normal goat. You're like a broken ass goat. Like
it's everything you love about the Havoc physics engine.
All the good
and
and
you just
the
ragdoll everything, the good and the bad. Like you clip through the environment and slingshot to the heavens. Your tongue can stick to anything and stretch really far.
I'd have to say for me, might have been Five Nights at Freddy's because that just came out of nowhere. That game came out.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere and it blew up.
And it blew up to the point it had a sequel within a few months.
Within a month.
Which is weird. Which is really weird. Like,
But no, I mean the fact that the
Amazing.
game
It's really good.
it's the concept of it is just so you can replace Freddy Fazbear's with ghosts or whatever zombies, doesn't matter. The idea of watching
I think it's a mechanically sound game.
yeah,
That's very
the
like
mechanics
tense.
of the game was very good. It's very tense.
And like have you seen the videos of the backstories that they have?
Yeah,
when
a
they're trying to
lot
explain
of
the lore?
I think a lot of this backstory isn't even coming from the developer, right? It's like just players coming up with
yeah, it's just similar to what happened to Slender, where it just blew up out of proportion.
yeah.
It's about the same thing, and that shows like very big promise for like a scary game and all that. Because like my nephew's like going all bonkers of Friday Nights at Freddy, and he's 8.
And he likes
like-
it. He's,
And
he
it's on
likes
everything now. It's on phones.
It's on phone. Yeah, it
Not
works
everything's
well in
on
phones. It works really well in phones, believe it or not. Which I got really shocked. Like it
Probably
feels like
controls easier on phone because of the touchscreen instead of dragging a mouse around.
no, sorry, not phone, tablet. I mean, it looks very at home in the tablet.
Yeah, it works really well. Oh yeah,
So-
but Goat Simulator, man, back to that.
Go ahead, yeah.
It got really weird updates. It had like that.
it had an MMO update. Yeah,
It had an MMO update. Oh my god, Goat Sim. Game of the year, indie game of the year, I'd say, just for sheer weirdness and just fun.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess.
What
But
about you, Carlos? What's your indie of the year?
This is actually one of the hardest one in our category list because I have been trying like seeing what's the best one, and
By Zach. That's indie.
it was indie. It was part of my list as well, but I guess I can consider this. But the one thing I chose was Don't Starve.
Don't Starve.
Like considered like it did come out like last year, I think. I think it came out last year. No, it came out last year. But
Where are you playing it on? PS4?
The PC. I played on the PC, and I guess it kind of considers it this year because it came out in consoles in Vita for this year.
Yeah, that counts.
And it gets a lot of updates, like constant updates through the PC. Like it's now going to get a co-op version. I bought a crap load of Rogue games this year. I bought a crap load. I bought Rogue Legacy. I bought Don't Starve, Binding of Isaac.
All came out on PS4.
Most of it came out on PS4. And I'm safe to say that it's one of the best indies and one of the best roguelike games actually out there. And essentially what Don't Starve is pretty much just you play as a character that's just left in the woods, and you literally just have to don't starve. You literally have to survive. You have to cut down trees, kill animals, craft objects and mechanisms to cook food, store items and whatnot. You're essentially trying to build your house, your way of living in this very very unforgiving environment. That like every time you go, as the day goes by, new elements are introduced to try to kill you, like monsters or the weather, snow, or penguins. Penguins are no joke.
In the forest. Wow.
They're no joke. Here's a little tip. If you
Smile
see
and wave,
eggs,
boys. Smile and wave.
if you go for their eggs and grab them, they're gonna freak out and attack you. Do not get the eggs. They will freak out. You can kill them, but there are like 10 of them altogether, so you just do not do that. But it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Every time I die, just like any other good roguelike game, every time I die, I'm not discouraged. I learned something new out of that playthrough, and I can apply it to my next playthrough. I got better at it. I reach my survival day count, like how many days I survived in that playthrough. It gets higher and higher as I play the game. So I have a strong incentive to keep going, and I feel really good about it because I'm getting better, and it's a lot of fun. And the fact that Clay Entertainment is adding more updates, it's adding a co-op version, they're adding more expansions and everything. Like I bought the expansion, I think, as well this year. I like that kind of support. Like they're adding more things to kill you, more items to craft. If someone hasn't played this game and again likes roguelikes, this is another good choice for you. Especially, it's also a sandbox in a way, because there's a lot of exploration, and that's my choice for indie.
All right, good choice though.
Nice.
I understand.
Yeah.
Moving on, we gotta get through these. Oh no, wait, I lost my thing. What is our favorite news bit of the year?
Double-armed Samus Amiibo sold for how much?
For $900.
No, even more. Like I think it sold for like $2,000 or some shit. Hello?
Yeah, I think it was like $2,000. Yeah. No, I was thinking about the price. No, you're not lagging.
I can't tell in this world. Lag.
You can't tell. Is that really your
This
best
just
news
in, PLDT's being a piece of shit again.
bit?
Looking
Our
forward
daily-
to next year. Oh my god.
Actually,
That's our daily dose of bitching or bitching about PLDT. Stay tuned on 2015 for another dose of us hating PLDT. Or Sky,
my
whichever
favorite,
comes first.
my favorite news bit was Bayonetta 1 being packaged in with Bayonetta 2. I think
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh wow, really?
I wouldn't even consider that big news, but yeah, I like that a lot, and I like that it's on disc, not like a redeem code or some nonsense.
Yeah, exactly. No, because people were pining for Bayonetta 1 to come out on the Wii U for the complete,
the package, and it's like
complete
the
the
definitive Bayonetta one.
and the Nintendo listened, man, and they fucking
They're
did
not
it.
making money off this, but they listen. Thank you, Nintendo.
Dude, Reggie listens. I have proof.
Making Pizza Hut.
What?
Wait,
What about
his
Pizza?
job before? He was like a Pizza Hut man before he went to Nintendo. Rumor has it that he invented the stuffed crust. We love you, Red.
I love the stuffed crust too. Oh, man. Okay. Me, Newsbit. Weirdly enough, it has to be Amazon grabbing Twitch.
That's
yeah,
your
that's a good point.
that was your favorite. That you felt that was like a
Yeah, I think it's a game changer, dude. Like streaming, the fact that Amazon considers Twitch as a big investment means that streaming is a big investment. And
The fact that it started out as who was gonna buy it first? Google.
Google, I think.
It was YouTube, right?
Google is YouTube.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
But my point is that I think because Switch was acquired for I think $1 billion or something, or I forgot the total amount.
$2 billion.
The reason why or maybe $2 billion. The reason why I'm considering this as the best news bit is because it just shows on how big like video game streaming has become. Like,
Yeah,
PS4 is integrated on their own features, and big companies are considering it as a big investment to like have live streaming and all that. And a lot of gamers, a lot of video game enthusiasts are considering Twitch or even YouTube as a very viable source of entertainment and a viable source of like, if you want to check out a game or impressions. Like I really think video streaming is going to be the forefront in terms of if you want to know what a game's about, if you want to have a little bit of entertainment, if you want to watch some esports, if you want to actual review, an actual impression and all that. Like I think that's where you're going to go. That's where you're going to have.
Some people don't even watch game reviews anymore. They just look for a let's play.
yeah.
Yep.
And actually, a lot of kids these days, that's how they entertain themselves. They
Yeah,
watch
they don't
Let's
watch
Plays.
TV anymore.
Yep,
They-
that's
they
why I
watch-
consider it as the best news bit because big companies or the guys in suits also
They
consider
finally
that.
understand.
Yeah, that's where the money is coming in, and that's very
Yeah,
very
To the
exciting.
point that some people are like, this is their job. Like
Yep.
they earn their living off of playing video games in front of a
Twitch.
blind audience on Twitch.
Yeah, like Man vs. Game, he's very entertaining, and he plays what he plays, and he's just he's living it, and there's a lot more of him. Like I can name a couple of few, and of course there's also networks like esports, like League of Legends, like the developers itself has their own channel, hosting their own tournaments and whatnot. Blizzard also doing the same. Like it's crazy, and I think Twitch is like what 3-4 years old, so
Maybe even less. Who knows? We're not keeping count.
maybe even less. So that's my best news bit because it's a game changer for me. Like not Oculus Rift, it's this.
What was your biggest surprise of the year? I think for me, it was Twitch plays Pokemon. That again for me.
That's a good choice. Yeah, the social experiment.
How big it exploded, like,
And how they beat the game. That was one of the most exciting streams ever.
Yeah, that's
Crazy
true.
enough.
How they beat the game, and all the fan art that came out from it.
Dude, all the lore that came out of that, dude,
Yeah.
was amazing. Bird Jesus.
Bird
Jesus.
Never forget.
Bird Jesus, and then it was just overall great. So
The false prophet. Oh man.
yeah, the false Evie, the false prophet. Oh god, that was incredible
That was
stuff.
fun. Yeah, it was great.
But yeah, that for me, I think that has to be my surprise of the year that I really enjoyed, was the Twitch Plays Pokemon stream.
What about you, Mick? I'm still thinking about mine because
The explosion of Amiibo sales. Like, I didn't expect it to be this hard to collect a bunch of gummy-faced Nintendo action figures. I mean, Nintendo statues, even. I can't even use them, and I'm trying to get all of them now, so...
Well, for me, this was actually, I don't know if it's going to be like a surprise, but I don't know. I think the biggest surprise actually is for me is the fact that, on how big Hearthstone is now. I mean, that's my biggest surprise.
Hearthstone's that huge.
It just came out on Android, too. So it's gonna
the reason why I was taking a while to actually think about it, because I had two things that I was kind of thinking about. It's either how Blizzard table flipped or did a 180 on Diablo 3, because people are like now liking Diablo 3, or how they made Hearthstone like one of the biggest esports competitions now in esports. Like Blizzard was able to change these two games into like very famous lights, and it's very interesting. But yeah, I chose Hearthstone because it's a great game. It came out this year, yeah, and I'm just surprised on how many people were just like, bam, it's just as big as StarCraft. It's just as big as any MOBA game out there
and
in terms of
really fast.
Yeah, and it's like even for the casuals, for me, or for those who are aspiring to be like pro gamers, it's so addicting. It's so fun, and they just recently released a new expansion too, adding 120 more cards. So it's getting even stronger now. So it was just a really big surprise because it's such a simple game. It's a very simple game that anybody can pick up. My 8-year-old nephew can pick this up, and it'll be a lot of fun. And I'm just really surprised that Blizzard was able to pull this off. And it's a free game, and you literally don't have to spend a cent. But that's my biggest surprise, because I didn't think it would be blow up this big. Because Magic the Gathering, it's
still going.
It's still going, but I think they have to be scared at this point, to be honest, because on the rate it's going when it comes to Hearthstone, it's looking like the trading, like TCG, might wither down slowly because of like Hearthstone. And if we get another card game similar to Hearthstone, like, everything will be more, in a digital game compared to like actual cards.
If Hearthstone gets a physical release. Oh no.
I don't think it will. Oh no. But that's my biggest surprise, because I didn't think it would blow up that big. It was fun, but not to this extent at all.
Yeah, if it gets physical.
Yeah. You're there.
Let's go to something a little...
Wait, before that, fucking Magus, surprise of the year.
Actually, actually, that's true, Magus. Magus was absolutely...
Magus deserves special mention for surprise of the year.
Because we knew it would be bad, but we didn't realize how much we'd have fun playing it.
It was a slow crawl. Like, first you're like, oh, this game is garbage. And as we kept playing, it's like, it's just sort of, like convincing us that it's not that bad. It was buying us in slowly.
It has this charm. It's like, I'm a bad game. It knows it's a bad game.
When was the moment for you? Because for me, it's when we started digging around with the magic at the last stage. Like really? the growth spell and the shrink spell, I was losing my mind. And like, oh my god, we need to try everything now.
I think even at the beginning, when I
still have to play that game.
You do, and you will have the opportunity to do so because we still have one DLC left to go.
Yep.
There's the other
So
surprise that this
excited.
game actually got DLC. You know?
Yeah. Super Saiyan hair.
Including Super Saiyan hair.
Oh my god.
But okay. We'll talk a bit more about Magus soon. Let's keep going.
Soon?
We got a few more. No, we got a few more to go. What was your? Okay, we already did most overhyped, but what for you was the most disappointing game of the year?
Disappointing?
Yeah.
You guys go on ahead. I have to dig through.
I have to think about this too, actually.
I didn't buy a lot of games that I didn't want to buy, so.
Okay, there are two disappointing games that I want to mention, and I'm gonna mention two because one of them is really the most overly hyped.
Yep. Okay. I think we can agree that was definitely one of the more disappointing titles.
Yeah,
of the
so
year.
Watch Dogs is right there. I have to go with, as much as I love, I've been thinking about this for a while, like all the games I played in 2014, from January all the way to December, and all the games, what really stood out, what didn't, and I had no choice but I had to go with The Evil Within. As much as I was that, like overall,
that disappointed you.
it was actually disappointing in the end if you think about it. Like,
Because
it was just.
I saw the ending, man. That is really bad. It's so unsatisfying.
You saw the ending, yeah. It's just
Yeah.
like I was having fun with it, but it wasn't.
Please
what I was
enjoy the
expecting.
DLC.
Please enjoy the DLC,
The DLC is probably gonna give you the ending.
or say anything really. I don't know. It was really disappointing. I had fun with it in the first half. I was having fun. I was getting the survival horror elements, which I wanted. But if I had to talk about it as a game as a whole, it was a bit too punishing. The gore was just a bit too much. The story never materialized into anything. And the boss fights were more of a fucking pain than an actual enjoyment of like, oh, I finally beat this boss. No, this guy's a fucking asshole. This guy's just really cheap as hell. It was frustrating. That's why, and the characters as well. It wasn't that they weren't interesting at all. I didn't even know what they were doing really, the characters, because if you guys know the story, you'll understand what's going on. You kind of understand what's going on. The customization, I didn't feel like there was a very deep customization in terms of like improving your weapons, improving your Sebastian and all that, but it was. I felt like I was just like throwing my money anywhere I want, and it didn't feel like it would change, to be honest. As much as it felt like there's so many options to do. So I think I have to put that as the as much as I like Shinji Mikami, like the father of Evil Within, it's not. He did bring back survival horror, but it didn't really bring out a good game. So
It wasn't really his fault then, because it was Bethesda who forced him to make this. And I heard that Evil Within started off as like a space shooter or something.
what? Really?
It's weird. So I don't know. That might
And it also had stealth elements, which I don't want to talk about because that was just.
it
Stealth
can
elements.
get really vague sometimes.
I know, but the pull that I had on buying this game was because I wanted a survival horror game. I got that, but everything else, and that's why the most disappointing one because, that's it. That's sadly, it's actually it's one of the most recent ones actually too, to be honest.
For me, I think has to be the Transformers: Rise of the Dark Spark game.
Oh my god, you bought that?
You bought that? Really?
I try. Well, the thing is, it was terrible. Yeah, but the thing is, you have to remember this was supposed to be a kind of a sequel to Diamond Studios Transformers games, which the first two, War of Cybertron and the Fall of Cybertron, were amazing games and very good homages to the series, and this one was sadly more of a movie tie-in than anything else, and that even when it was announced, it was already disappointing, in that sense. Like, oh, it's gonna have the movie Transformers in it. It's like, what the fuck? No one wants that.
The kids
You know?
want that.
Yeah, the kids do.
Kids
but,
won't matter.
Like,
I mean, they won't even notice. To be honest. But anyway,
But,
sorry.
you know,
be Optimus Prime, murdering everybody.
exactly. And, you know, so I mean, it was just,
It was just filthy, bad taste in your mouth.
yeah, because
like the
the last
movie.
two, it's like eating like a fantastic 3-course meal and the dessert's like, you know, you have like
A
this
fantastic
amazing like
course,
apple soup.
and then the dessert
Steak
became
and
actual shit.
It's just like that Cards Against Humanity Black Friday thing, where
Yeah.
it said box of bullshit, and when it got
Yeah.
mailed, it was literally a box of
Bullshit.
bullshit.
It was cow. I think it was cow shit, like hard cow
Which is
shit.
Bulls
bullshit.
are male cows.
No, what I'm saying is like when have you seen the unboxing of that thing?
Oh yeah. It's dried cow poop.
No, I know,
with-
and someone had to someone actually snapped it in half, hoping there's something inside.
No, he was proving to everyone that it really is just bullshit because like people were saying maybe there's something inside, maybe there's something hidden in the box and all that.
I know, but he
no.
still touched shit and he snapped it in half. I'm just saying.
Apparently it's fertilizer and it doesn't smell or anything if it's cow poop, but it's still like feces.
It's still feces.
All
But
right,
okay.
for me,
Oh yeah. I forgot about you. Sorry. Go ahead.
I got Drakengard 3, which also came out earlier this year.
Right.
I'm disappointed
you did
just
say that.
because it came out in Japan like a full year before or something.
Yeah.
And it finally got localized with full English voice acting. But then they didn't improve anything. Like the performance is garbage. Some parts of the game are just plain unfair and broken. The ending is punishing as hell because it's the ending is like because the game is basically third person action, diba? Like a la Dynasty Warrior sometimes. Then the ending is like a music game where it's unfair because it changes beats in between, and if you fuck up once, you're dead. You have to redo the whole thing again.
Really? There's a rhythm. Oh, I forgot.
Yeah,
about
and
that. You mentioned-
performance-wise, there's just a lot of screen tearing. The frame rate is garbage. Like if they improved even just that, the frame rate and the screen tearing, because it's an action game, those are the things you have to get right. That's the golden rule of Platinum games, diba? Everything they release is 60 FPS.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the story I really enjoyed. It's so fucking absurd and stupid, but like I want to beat the game, but then I spent 3 hours trying to beat that last music segment, and like I can't do it. I don't
You
want to
hit a
look at the
roadblock.
ending either. I need to beat that game. But fuck, it's not a good game. I wouldn't recommend to anyone unless you an anime. I don't know.
You're an otaku
Anime.
wannabe.
Anime,
All right.
Dragon Ball.
What about must play game of the year? That's
Oh,
what
the
they're gonna
must
call it.
play.
And
out
I
of
think this will.
2014.
I will say Magus again.
Yes, I completely agree with you.
Fuck.
Because that's a better game than Drakengard 3. It's more
If
solid.
the
Really?
Magus,
It's more solid than Drakengard 3.
God.
that's saying a lot.
Just
It's functionally sound. I'm gonna say
There's
this.
no screen tearing, is what you're saying.
It's fucking boring as hell, but like it plays better than Drakengard 3.
I think people should play it just to see how. I don't know.
It's probably dirt cheap na rin, so
I don't know. It's like watching a bad movie. You want to watch it because you know it's bad.
then you
And
watch
you're
it
gonna-
again to point out even more bad stuff, and then watch it again just to laugh at it.
Exactly.
And then tell your friends to watch it too, and then laugh at it some more. It's just like Street Fighter, the movie.
Which
you gotta,
yeah,
you,
which
you gotta
after
see
enough
that. You gotta see
viewings is actually
Ryu and
good.
Ken as weapon smugglers.
As
you know.
arms dealers.
Arms dealers, sorry. So those are your must play of the year, I guess.
This magazine.
I'd say that then, yeah, Magus.
Yeah. Well, mine on the other hand, I don't think it has nothing compared to your. I mean, I think Magus beats mine as well. Like I feel like I feel so embarrassed saying it now since you mentioned Magus. Like it is definitely a must play. God damn it! But if I have to mention one, it has to be Alien Isolation.
That's also a good horror game.
Play that game. Get freaked out.
Especially if you like Aliens, like the movies. This
Or
is like
Alien.
the best one
No,
out
actually
so far.
Alien. Alien, the first one. To be more specific. If you really enjoy that claustrophobic atmosphere that you got on the Alien, play that game because they'll give you 20 hours of it. And as much as I had a little bit of problems with its length and everything, it was a big surprise. It was actually pretty good. I liked it. For those who are looking for a great horror game, or anybody who was actually dying for a really good Aliens game, Alien Isolation has nailed it. It's not Alien Colonial Marines. It's not Alien vs. Predator bullshit. It's a really good Aliens game. And you guys should definitely pick it up. And it's cheap right now. Fuck. In Steam? I think it was yesterday or today. It's like 50% off.
Wow.
Just saying. It's like 600 pesos.
I heard someone spent 30 hours in that game just because she was geeking every single detail in the ship.
Which is, it's pretty detailed out.
Game.
Well, definitely. I've been meaning to get around to playing that too. It's in my backlog. I really should get around to playing that.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
From everything I've read it from, you've talked definitely one of the better games. Yeah. Let's get to we have two more before we can do this. The Rita special mention. What did you guys
I
like to
don't
mention?
understand this.
Yeah, that's my fault. I put a category called.
What are the rules for this?
What is the Doritos moment of the year?
420 plays it.
God, what is my Doritos moment of the year? I think just the VGX in general is my Doritos moment of the year. Just because how bad that show was again. And how they keep trying to do it every year.
It's supposed to be Doritos special mention. You gave the special mention to the worst thing.
I think it's also the longest Game Awards to come out so far, because I don't think the previous ones were 3 hours. Oh my god. I got a Doritos moment. I told you about this a while ago, before we started. Am I still there? Hello?
Yeah, you're still there.
I can't tell. So,
Thanks,
I had a Christmas party.
I have a lot of work to do.
I had a Christmas party with some college friends, and one of them brought out a bag of Doritos and a 1.5 bottle of Mountain Dew. And I was the only one who laughed. Because Jeff Keighley. Nobody else understood why, because nobody else watched the game.
I don't think anybody else understood even in this podcast.
Nobody who doesn't follow video games understands.
How good of a journalist Jeff Keighley is, really. I don't know, I'm bashing that guy.
Thanks, Jeff Keighley, for making a joke that nobody else understands.
Yeah, to the point that I made a fucking category for it. Well, my special mention is... forgot already. All the lag just made me forget all about my special mentions.
All the lag.
Alright, so we just move to the last one then?
No, I got it. Oh, I got it. Special mention, the special Doritos mention moment, whatever. PLDT.
Fuck those.
PLDT.
You know what?
PLDT.
I had some bullshit with them earlier this month. Because usually they send the bill at around December the 21st of the month.
Okay.
They call me up early, December 5 ata. They call me up sir, yung bill niyo po due on December 15. And we didn't even have the bill yet. So how the fuck am I gonna pay it?
Yeah,
they did that. They did that to me too. And I said I don't have the bill.
I have the problem where when somebody calls on the landline, the internet dies.
Yep, I have that same problem.
Yeah, I actually done that a couple of times in your house.
I have the exact same issue.
I done that a couple of times in your house to order pizza. We just lose our chance to down or to upload or update your PSN store.
And it always happens too. So God.
Yeah, that's my Doritos special mention. Anything and everything, all crappy and nothing. And it has to be PLDT because I have a lot of work to do now for this episode 63. There's so much lag. I love it.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I will do a good job.
Finally, what's our game of the year for 2014?
Oh wait, can we add another one as
all right.
my request? The like the best game you played that didn't come out this year, like an old backlog or something.
An old
Because
best
I
backlog
just
game,
wanted to mention Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney 5 on the 3DS.
which was last year, yeah.
Yeah, it came out last year, but I got my 3DS this year, and I bought it when it went on sale, and dude, that game is great. Like, I'd say it's one of the best entries in the Phoenix Wright series. It fixes a lot of old problems previous games had,
All right.
just
Yeah.
because I need more Phoenix Wright.
You need more Phoenix
It's
Wright,
really
more
good.
Phoenix Wright. I have a good one for that.
Well, okay, well, what's your best game of
Was it-
last year that you?
Well, it's not really last year, but it's definitely a huge backlog. But I finished it this year though, and I'm gonna mention it because I had a lot of fun with it. I don't even know when it came out. Tales of Vesperia. I'm gonna mention that.
Oh, the Xbox One?
Yeah.
Xbox 360. I finished it this year, and I
Nice.
bought it because I wanted to look for a JRPG, and I found it this year. I played it. No, I found it last year, but I finished the second half. I think around Feb. I think of this year, right before Titanfall hit. I finished it off, and that was a huge treat. I love that game. The game had so much character. The combat was just like any other Tales game, which is good, very good. The story, the length was good. The length of an JRPG was good. It wasn't too long, wasn't too short. The story,
25 hours.
I think it was 40. I did 40 on that one actually. That's an okay length for me for JRPGs. The story actually had a good story. They actually had a good pacing. It was the most traditional, must save the world bullshit from JRPGs, but it was engaging enough for me to care about the characters, care about what's going to happen, and it had actually a good closure towards the end. So it was. I'm happy that I actually I asked you guys what should we buy? What should I get? And I got Tales of Despair for 1,000 pesos, something like that. Well worth it. Whoever has a 360, pick it up.
Yeah, Tales series is one of those things where you can jump into almost any game in the series and feel good about it because most of them are really good.
And I was really happy with it. And hopefully Tales of Zillia gets a remastered version for the PS4. So I can play it.
Bundled with Zillia 2.
Yeah,
Also,
hopefully.
along with Symphonia 1 and 2.
Oh, hopefully.
Just to
That's
complete
my
the
dream.
package.
Why not? We're
Tales of
complete the trend.
Remastered. There you
Complete
go.
the trend. Complete the trend. I'm just saying. But that's my backlog. I did play that, and that was a way back. So it's actually worth mentioning.
Cool.
What about you,
I'm
Will?
trying to think of what.
Oh, so again, while you think, honorable mention for me, Guacamelee. Because I played it on PS3, and I think the Championship Super Turbo whatever came out on PC and PS4. That's
Okay.
a lot. They added a lot of good stuff in that one, so I'd say,
Guacamelee.
yep, if you have a PS4, get the Guacamelee there. It's a good side-scrolling Metroidvania action game. That's
Is that a
hella
decent-
Mexican.
Is it a decent co-op? Because you have co-op as
Oh,
well.
yeah, but I'd say play it alone first because
Okay.
co-op makes it a bit too easy and
Oh,
hectic.
It didn't quite scale up. Well, anyway,
No,
Guacamelee, is it? What's the additions for the PS4 version though? Do you know, or is it just they added the DLC crap?
they added the DLC crap. You can now purchase DLC like in-game currency that you collect.
Mm.
It's great. It's I'd say get that one, the Super Championship Turbo whatever edition.
Yeah. Which I'll get around to eventually.
I'm trying to think of what game that's from last year that I played this year.
Or you too focused on the 2014 titles?
No, I mean I know there's a few I play, but I just don't know when they were released.
Oh well, you can go with any. Because for example, Tales of Vesperia technically was not last year, but I did start it last year. I mean, in 2013, in
Just
November.
a game that came out not in 2014.
Yeah,
Right,
in a sense.
right. Which I'm trying to think of now, but I really have the.
Oh, well, we can go back to it if ever.
I would say possibly. Would it count if I just said Team Fortress 2 will be one of my games I still play occasionally and still enjoy honestly.
Like one of those games.
Valve keeps updating it constantly with new stuff every
Hats.
Halloween, every Christmas with more hats, more guns, and they make funny movies about the Team Fortress characters.
Oh yeah, that was the short movie. It was really good.
There was
The bread. Just teleport bread.
and it's been constantly installed on my PC since I got this rig, and I still play it pretty regularly.
Every now and then.
So yep, I can jump in, play 5 minutes or play 5 hours. I'd still have a good time with it. So I'd say that's my game of last year that I played this year. So,
Cool.
but with that said, what is our game of the year for 2014?
Ooh, who wants to start with
What do
that?
you guys think?
I have
I'll go
one.
first. I'll go first. Dark Souls 2 for me. No, it's a real video game.
Dark Souls 2 is a real video game?
Dark Souls 2 is a very good choice.
Well, compared to Magus, Dark Souls 2 is a more real video game than Magus.
Yeah. No, Dark Souls 2 is an excellent choice. I think.
Yeah, I kind of jumped late into the Soul series because I heard like it's hella hard, blah blah blah, and I did hear about all of that really late. So I got Dark Souls 2 maybe a month after it released. Then I ended up enjoying it a lot, like a lot more than I thought I would, to the point that I think I'm at 60 plus hours now.
Yeah.
I haven't even gotten the DLC yet, but since it is coming out on PS4 with a bunch of new garbage in it, I might
Might as
just
well
wait for that. Yeah, because I can replay this again. A different build maybe, right?
Yep.
And get into that PvP build bullshit with like the weird weapons.
Hey, don't get freaked out about the PvP. It might be intimidating, but it's actually a lot of fun. And they have
I mean like the gimmicky builds that you can make. Like, there are certain weapons that are made just for PvP because they don't work well with the main enemies. Like a shield that you can spike and kill someone with by adding magic to it, or like the Ivy sword from Soul Calibur.
Dude, the
or
whips.
Like fists. The fist that gives you Tekken moves now.
Dude, the whips. The whips are viable in PvP.
The whips are made for PvP.
I know. They fucking suck.
Stuff like that.
I hate fighting the whip guys. But yeah, Dark Souls 2 is a really great game. I don't think I've ever hated any Souls game so far. This one, I thought that the sequel would be, I think, too premature to make a sequel, like really early on. But Dark Souls 2 proved that, it can still be among the best in this franchise. It's not as punishing as I think Dark Souls 1.
Yeah, it's the easiest of the Souls games, but then it had a bunch of improvements as well as like the online features in Dark Souls 2 is just much better than.
Yeah, I had a challenge still, but I think it's still one of the better ones, one of the better in the franchise because it's more welcome to other people who don't know the series.
Yep.
And they still get the true essence of Dark Souls. They didn't lose that. They just
I am now a Souls fan because of this. I will delve into the other games and then drool over Bloodborne when it comes.
And there's also like 3 DLCs, which people are saying like one of the most very rewarding DLCs, not compared to all that crap.
Yeah, the King's Crowns DLCs.
Yeah, apparently they're like worth picking up. They're like 500 each. I have to get around to getting that. So it's well worth it. We mentioned also there's a remaster of Dark Souls 2 next year. So for those who are in the current gen, pick it up.
60 FPS, man. That's worth it in Dark Souls.
Yeah, it looked really nice. That's why I bought it in the PC, just for the 60 FPS.
Yeah, just for the 60 FPS.
I wanted to die in 60 FPS. That was my biggest goal for Dark Souls 2. And I got it in like the first few seconds. And I was happy.
There you go. That's my game of the year, Dark Souls 2.
What about you, Will?
I'm still kind of thinking of mine. You go first.
Okay, fine. I'll think about mine. Mine, I thought I was going to go with Dark Souls 2, but I like this game's story so much that I couldn't resist. The Last of Us.
The Last of Us
remaster.
Yep. It's my number one because it had good gameplay.
Yeah, and you didn't play it last year too, so you're just experiencing it this year.
I did not. My PS3 conked out when it came out, so I didn't have the chance to play it on its original state. I got the remastered version. That's one of the reasons why I bought the PS4. Actually, I bought my PS4. I got, I think, Infamous Second Son, and then next month, bam, the game that I wanted for the longest time, The Last of Us, came out. I played it. It was so long. It was weirdly so long, but it was well worth it from start to end. The characters are just as good as like Uncharted characters from Naughty Dog. They were very engaging.
I'd say even better, just because they seem more
Yeah,
human here.
they're more human. It's actually more deep. The ending was very trivial. I
Very
loved it.
controversial. Yeah,
Very
it's
controversial,
really
very trivial, and it really made me think. It's one of those games that reason why I made it my game of the year is because it lingered right after I finished the game. The story lingered for like days and made me think about the choices about these characters and how everything turned out, and it's very impactful. That made a very big impact on me. I really enjoyed it, and I think me and Will had like different views on the ending, which again makes it even a stronger point on why I think the story is very good.
Yeah,
we get to discuss different
I
points.
also get why the ending is very controversial, but I'm also satisfied with it.
Yeah, and the combat, people didn't like the combat, but I think it was very rewarding because it's more like a risk and reward thing.
It fits the genre. It
very
gives you
much
more
fits.
tension.
A lot of tension, a lot of like, should I use these items? Because, if I use this, I won't have it for the next fight. You have to think about it that way. Stealth is really my weak point in terms of when I'm playing video games. I hate stealth, but I kind of welcomed it here. It made sense on why I had to go stealth and why I had to really be patient. I love the combat. And the multiplayer, as much as I don't like them adding multiplayer, the multiplayer was actually pretty fun. Sad to say. Because I didn't want them to put multiplayer, but it worked out well for them. And yeah, it was just well worth the money. I don't think I'll ever throw that game away. I might just play it again just on the hardest difficulty, just for the heck of it. Because going through the story again is definitely a treat. So that's my game of the year.
I think for me, I'm not going to pick a giant AAA title, although this is a game that came out from a AAA publisher. My game of the year will probably be Valiant Hearts,
nice.
which is
That's a good choice.
Ubi Art.
which is published by Ubisoft. I talked about this. I don't remember in which episode, but I talked about
When it came out.
When it came out, it's a World War One. Well, it's a puzzle platformer game that takes place during World War One. That is based off letters written by soldiers during the war. So there's an element of truth in a lot of what happens in the game, and the thing is, I mean, when you read about the war, you realize how terrible a time it was for everyone, and a lot of misery and people dying and stuff. And as whimsical as this game looks, like the art style and the gameplay, it actually makes a very big impact on how bad it was back then. And I think it's also a subject matter where which has been mostly ignored for the most part. You don't see a lot of games set during this time period. So for me, it was a very refreshing experience. I wish it's not a perfect game by all means, but for me, this was the one game I remember playing very vividly still to right now. So that it sticks out in my head so much, I guess, is why I'm gonna select that as my game of the year.
Nice.
That's actually a good choice, actually. That's one of the things I was...
You're not going to see that in a lot of people's top ones.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Well, sure, it's not, again, it's not a perfect game by any means. Like, if you're going to go by sheer technical aspects, it's nowhere near the... I think in some websites, they consider it as an indie title, for whatever reason.
Because it looks
Ubisoft
like
made it. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, yeah, I get it, though. I get it. It's actually also cheap now, too. Fuck. Or is it now? It's in Steam, eh? But actually, what about you, Migs? You haven't... have you got...
I did, Dark Souls 2.
Oh,
What the fuck, man?
It's 1 in the morning. I'm sorry.
Yep, it's 1 in the morning here.
Want to do some honorable mentions, like number 2s and all that?
I think I have.
The thing, there's still a lot of games that came out this year I haven't really played yet. I haven't played Shadows of Mordor, and I've heard so many great things about it. So I can only give you what my personal game of the year is.
No, which is what? Yeah, that's yeah. That's what we need.
But Shadows of Mordor, I've heard so many great things about. Bayonetta 2, of course.
Which we have, but we can't play. I'd put that on my list too, but that's cheating.
I would, Smash
You
Brothers.
can't do that.
I know, that's why I didn't, damn it. You're not listening. I wanted to.
Second mention is, of course, Magus, again.
My number 2 is boring anyway, it's just Super Smash Brothers. Which,
it
doesn't feel right when I say it's a good game, because it is.
It is a great game.
It's a boring choice, I'd say, Lang.
Well,
for a number
would
one.
Would you say it's like the best fighting game release of this year, like as opposed to say? But you're up against Ultra Street Fighter 4 and like Season 2 of Killer Instinct,
or like Guilty Gear Xrd, which I haven't even played yet.
Guilty Gear Xrd, yeah, which just came out a few days ago.
And the Persona 4 sequel,
and Ultimax, 4, yeah. So, Ultimax. But you played 4 out of it's everything except Guilty Gear. So
yeah. I'd say Persona 4 Arena is a better game, but I've had more fun with Smash Brothers just because I met up with the local community.
Right.
And then I get to play the Wii U version at the usual meeting point, so that's hella fun. And I guess content-wise, it has more than Persona 4.
Right.
Mine's boring, because Miggy talked about it already.
Magus?
Oh, no. I didn't play Magus yet. What are you talking about? I can never talk about
Bayonetta 2?
No, it's none of those games I played. Dark Souls 2. It's
oh, yeah, that's good.
I can't. It's those, Last of Us, Dark Souls 2, those are still games that I'd love to revisit. Dark Souls 2 is still... it doesn't have a good story, but it as a video game, it's the technical know-how, its mechanics, it's knowledge of pushing you to your limits just to get through that damn leg or that damn gauntlet of enemies. The next level is just great. And the PvP, I don't know if you guys have dwelled into PvP, but it's a lot of fun and it's actually working. It's not so laggy too. So I love it.
I'd say another choice for me might have been Wolfenstein. New Order.
I heard good things about that.
Because, as far as shooters go, it was very fresh. It's a throwback to an old beloved series. It just played well. This is, as far as shooters go, you couldn't get much better than that.
Feel.
It felt good, to play. And I think the narrative, the story
was a big surprise. I have to,
it was actually a very nice surprise, and it wasn't all
it's not all Call of Duty.
It's not all Call of Duty Marines,
Kevin Spacey,
10-4, hooah, whatever, USA.
It's not a bro shooter.
It's not a bro shooter at all, exactly, and that was very refreshing.
Yeah, because I think the guy, it was like a thorn. Was that he pretty much just woke up and his whole world was just upside down.
Yeah, exactly.
And he just wants to make revenge. That's all it was. He just wants to make it right any way he can, and he just finds.
And I guess the thing with Wolfenstein is that its main villain are Nazis, and you can't find a better villain than Nazis.
Robo-Nazis.
Robo-Nazis with dinosaurs, see?
They had the Robo-Nazis.
Robot dogs.
And robot dogs, yeah, they didn't have that.
They needed dinosaurs. They needed dinosaurs badly. If it had dinosaurs, it would have been my top.
Nazi dinosaurs, BJ Blazkowicz versus the Nazi dinosaurs.
Blazkowicz, you're here. You're here finally. That's actually a good honorable mention. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Or do you guys have anything else?
Last quick one. What's your most anticipated title for next year?
For next. Okay, we're now segueing into next year.
This is the last one. We're way over time.
Yeah, it's the last episode of the year.
That's true. I think for me,
if you guys have already turned off, it's fine. You can just continue on next year.
For me, it's probably The Witcher. The Witcher 3 is my most anticipated.
Witcher 3, that's a good choice. It's a long wait, though. We have to wait again.
Hello. Long way, but I mean, I could say Bloodborne also, but I think The Witcher 3 has me more enthralled by it. Over Batman, over Uncharted 4,
So I'm stealing Will's number 2, which is minus Bloodborne, because Souls. and Van Helsing Souls. That just looks really good.
For me, for next year, the most hyped up game. God, my most anticipated game. I forgot about it already. I would like to say Witcher 3, but it's kind of boring because I think everybody wants Witcher 3. But I guess the game that I'm really excited for will probably have to be... Shit, this is so weird though, but I love team-based games. I have to say Rainbow Six.
That's a good choice, I'd say.
Siege. I saw I saw a couple of new footages of that game and like the whole like 5-on-5 the captors siege their make their defenses in the house and then they secure the hostage and then while the police plan ahead and where they want to siege and where they want to enter the house and how it's all everything's all destructible and it's very tactical and I'm pretty excited.
Which Rainbow Six should be tactical.
Yeah, it is it's pretty cool. I'm gonna throw a grenade in this room. I see two people there. He shoots the wall to have a little hole, and he throws a smoke grenade inside the hole.
Yeah, that was my favorite part of the demo.
I mean, seriously, that's really cool.
That's
awesome. And then you can say, can you go on top of the roof and they can rappel down so you can at least destroy the like those kinds of tactics. I really like just team-based games, and I hope Ubisoft does not disappoint us again with Rainbow Six, but. I like team-based games, and shooters are always fun. So that's my most anticipated one for 2015. And a small mention for Batman Arkham Knight, because, Batman. It's Batman.
It's Batman. Batman.
Na shark repellent.
And Assassin's Creed. Sorry. No more jokes. Sorry. Assassin's Creed Victory. It's actually happening.
Ass Creed.
And we're done.
Yay!
That was the last episode.
Thank you
for
joining the last episode of 2014, despite of all the lag.
All hail the lag.
Apparently, PLDT knew that this would be the last episode for the TMG podcast, so they decided to unplug the cord every now and then, just when I make a horrible joke. I don't know. It's horrible. I apologize for that, though, if I do not do this episode justice when I edit this. But thanks for listening in. We will be on our Christmas break. There's no episode next week. It's gone. I don't know when we'll be back. This is episode 63, and 64 will be the first episode for January.
Or next year. Yay!
Probably the next episode will most likely be on. Well, we'll check our schedules. We'll check if we're all free and anything. But I think it's gotta be either the 6th, January 6th. It's either January 6th or January 13th, either or. That's I think the first week of January and the second week of January. But rest assured though that once we start rolling in the episodes for 2015, that will still be every week. It will still be every week. We'll still do the regular things, our impressions, our little topics, our little bullshit about video games, the whole little banter. We'll continue on. But for now, we will all just, enjoy the holidays, drink some eggnog, and play more video games.
I still don't understand eggnog. I don't. I just don't.
Google it.
Can somebody make one real eggnog for me?
Email us.
I don't think you can make eggnog.
Email us on how eggnog is made.
I'll just put eggs and milk and booze in a glass and then stir. Is that how it works?
Shake and then stir.
All right. Okay.
Shake
I'll try.
I
will Google how to eggnog.
Or if anybody knows how to make eggnog, email us at www.thetmgpodcast@gmail.com.
Did you just say www.gmail?
What? No,
You said www. The TMG Podcast
@gmail.com.
Or send us a message on Facebook and or Twitter.
But that was right? Oh, anyway, yeah. If you have any questions, that's our email. Follow us on Twitter. Like us on Facebook. We're all there. Too Much Gaming. Check out our videos in YouTube. Our channel is TMG Blog. We have. Do you have any videos loading up for Christmas? I don't think so.
It's just binary domain. Everything else is in the back burner because I'm a busy for the holidays.
Holidays. I haven't even done. Well, I haven't really done much aside from the podcast and aside from work. So yeah, we're just like winding down at the end of the year. But yeah, do check out our YouTube, Joe. We have a lot of videos that we worked on. We had a lot uploaded this year, actually. But if you want to check out our previous episodes, if you are dying for another episode, but you're not getting one next week, you can check out our previous ones, especially our ESGC. I'm not getting well with the names, but then ESGS coverage. Head over to our archives on the website, www.toomuchgaming.net. All our episodes are there. Our reviews are there, and some of the videos are also there, so do check that out. And I think that's it for us.
Hi guys.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays. Woo! Santa Claus.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.